One here. Oh, that is very loud. Go in. What's that? Yeah. All right, so let me put good afternoon. I think that the video sending to you guys is been moved and is not pointing. Yeah, let me move it. It's not pointing. Is it pointing now? So no, it's pointing to a bunch of empty. About now. I don't see it. There we go. Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hi.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
So this
Deanna,
isn't the,
thank you, Deanna, for removing that.
oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Not just for me, but for my neighbor. He's the one I was worried about.
That's fine. Remember, guys, if you share your screen and there's something of private nature, remind me in the moment. I can pause the recording, but then can everyone please remind me to start it again? I've had it before where we pause the recording and then the whole class didn't get recorded because we didn't remember to turn it on again, which means everyone loses out. So just if we can kind of do a collective, oh, you want me to pause it, I'll pause it, but then we have to remember to turn it on again. I don't know how to remind myself to turn it on again, so I just normally don't pause it, but I'm happy to do it as a request, as long as we all try to remember to unpause it. All right. Hi everyone. Hopefully everyone else shows up. There's a lack of people here today.
It was true in my painting class this morning out at the Wake Center. Maybe people didn't set their clocks or something. I don't know.
Oh.
There were a lot of people didn't show up.
I was about to
this
say today that now that with smartphones, that seems, I was actually thinking today that there's less of an issue because we all just pick up our phone to look at the time and it's always correct, right?
morning.
As long as you use clocks in your house or your car to tell you where you are, then you're in trouble. But if you look at your phone, right? And my kids yesterday played a nasty on me because I mean, I'm Argentinian. We eat dinner very late. So whenever it's my time, we all take turns cooking. When it's my turn to cook, no matter how much I try, I always end up dinner late. It's just ingrained in me and I do my best, but it's still late. And then yesterday, for a moment, I got confused because when I saw the time in the kitchen and the oven, and they're like, Mom, it's like 10 p.m. It's like, no, it's 9. Like, we finished dinner and it was late, but I thought it was going to be 8. I was congratulating myself that it was like 8. No, it's 10. And I'm like, I was right in the end. So, but still, for a moment there, I was like, what, did we go the other way? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. The family aims for 8. I rarely manage to make dinner before 9. 8:30. But that's early. So in Argentina, you wouldn't have dinner till 10. So even 8 is early. And forget like 7 or 6 or 5, like some of you guys. That's like, oh my God, I'm going to be eating at that time. But yeah, it's just, and people go to Argentina and they're all aghast that you can't have dinner at 5. You can't have dinner at 6. No restaurants are open at 7. The earliest ones, catering firms, might open at 8. Like, oh, here comes the people who get dinner really, really early. But yeah, normally you're going out to dinner between 9 and 11. What? Not at a restaurant. You might go to a place for cocktails before. I don't know, but yeah, it's just it's interesting. At 5 or 6, we're having tea time. We're going have tea time. No, there's no alcohol in the tea time. No. All right, so I'm gonna mute everyone who's at home, so that when you want to talk to me, you need to unmute yourself. Okay, so hi Angelina, hi Julie, hi Rodney, hi Marta, hi Blas, and Alan. Still, there's a lot of you guys missing. Someone mentioned the schedule. Maybe that's why. But I don't know why. Still, glad you're here. And I'm going to remind you that today's our last day of class. And that well, don't want to make you cry, but it's also kind of nice to know you'll miss the class. But it's not the end of being with me, because on Wednesday, it's my first day of living the iLife. So if you are not signed up for that class and you want to, that class is currently full, so you can't sign up. But if you still have the chance that you want to do that, send me an email. I'll send you a form. You can send it in with my signature and you can get in. But also, you won't get in if you don't let me know that you're doing that, because I won't be able to send you a link, because I look at my roster and whoever's on the roster gets a link. And if you're not on the roster, you have to email, tell me that you sent in the request and that you want to be there the first class. Before, people could sign up ahead of time. But now, because of this new rule, you can't sign up to a new class until the day it opens. But then how do you get the Zoom link? So it's really this bizarre. I don't know that you're in the class. I don't send you a Zoom link. You can't come in. So anyway, it's okay for the in-person classes. Like, it's a rule because teachers were letting in favorite students and it was this whole thing. It's like, great for in person, I get that. But for the Zoom classes, I need to let you in before or you can't have the link. Anyway, if you want to be in that class, send me an email so I can send you the link, because you won't be on the roster until that day. That's all I'm saying, because right now the class is full. The limit, I think, is 25. It depends. It's hard because the more people there are, the more people you have to support and help, and you get to a point where it becomes unfeasible to go on. I do have more of a limit of 35 for this one. But for the iLife class, I didn't up that cap. I could. It's just that it does happen that a lot of people do need help and support, and then it gets really slow. That class already is long and has every minute those apps are changing, the phones are changing, the Photos app is changing, and there's so much to teach. If I have a ton more people interested, I would up the cap to say 30. But most of the times I do, see, that's true. Up until before, people who wanted in, I would just send them a form and then I'd have about 30 starting. But now that I can't do that, I might have to raise the cap, because even though if you start with 30, that you really end up teaching about 20 because people just don't come. So I probably could raise the cap on that one, because now that I can't let them sign in earlier. Can you remind me at break? I'll send Emma a message to raise that cap to see if we can do it. Okay. Somebody who's good at emailing me, Julie, you're good at sending me, you could send me an email to elevate the iLife cap to 30 so that I can send it to Emma. Thank you, because I can do that on my phone when I'm done teaching. All right, so hopefully I'll see quite a few of you guys there. And if I don't, then I used to teach that one only twice a year, but lately it's so popular that for the most part, I'm teaching it just about every session. So I know I do have it scheduled for the spring again. But that's also because I'm teaching less of other classes. And so anyway, so that's a good one. All right.
I'm taking so many classes this semester. I can't keep them straight. Oh my God. I was going over and filling
in
the
all of my classes.
calendar out today.
And I know you're in some of Bruce's as well. So yeah. You're taking a lot. Anyway, I just muted everyone, Barbara, so that people can unmute themselves when they talk. I'm going to go ahead and mute you as well. So just know that when you want to talk, you need to unmute yourself. Okay. So given that this is our last class, I have two things in particular I wanted to talk to you about, which was the Notes app and the Reminders app, which is connected to the Calendars app. But if there's any burning question that you have left, there's so much going on. By the way, I installed Tahoe on my other computer at home so that I can start playing around with it to be ready for next session when I teach. I'll be teaching probably, I'm assuming they're going to upgrade these to Tahoe. You don't have to, but if they do upgrade here, I can have one and one and I can demo different ones. Tahoe is visually quite, I mean, when I say visually quite different, it's just aesthetically different. It's not the functional part, but aesthetically it looks pretty different. Now, I taught you a bit about I spent less time on the phone this time, so I do want to spend a bit more time today on the phone. We do have a control panel on the phone that I've talked to you quite a bit. That control panel on the Mac isn't so useful right now. Well, in the Tahoe, they have made the control panel be like the one on the phone. So it becomes much more of a player as an element. And that's kind of cool because it is nice to have. But again, it's things that bring another, not complication as in bad, but an intricate element to teach that is nowhere in any of the schedules. And so now I have to figure out, where do I put that in, right? And then there is a couple of new apps and things like that that are working in conjunction with other stuff. And there's a whole bunch of like all this intelligent stuff that you just open up Spotlight and you just write a text and off it goes to the right person. You don't even have to open your text. You can send a message, you can send an email, just opening the little Spotlight. So it's like they're making things ideally easier and easier. But as a teacher, well, and as a user, you have to learn them first, right? Hold on, I'm taking this scarf off, which means that my microphone is probably shattering people's ears. Give me a second because I'm transferring my microphone to my shirt. Okay. So anyway, it's interesting. So it isn't so much a huge change, just they've added a few things that are really useful. So I'm going to adopt them and use them and see how I like them. But also, visually, it's all like transparency and ooey and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, I spent. It is. Oh, it's gorgeous. Actually, the picture they use for the desktop is gorgeous. You just want to dive in there, even though it's cold waters if you're really in there. But it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous picture. So yeah, the Lake Tahoe looks gorgeous. Hi, Phil. Okay, what's that? I know. I think. Did you come from your painting class? All right. So so that's it for Tahoe. I don't know if I'm going to find out if school is going to update or not for the next session. Just in case, as I told you, I have one of my computers updated. So if they do update, we'll use that, and then I won't update this one, and I'll be able to show both. It does use more. As usual, whenever you upgrade your computer, it uses more power, and any Intel computer, there's only one or two Intel computers left that can use Tahoe. The ones that can use Tahoe are the ones with the M1, 2, 3 chips. But there's a couple of older, not M chips that can still use Tahoe, but very few. Because it uses a lot of AI, artificial intelligence features, and the older computers can't handle that. So we'll see. It used to be that we only had a couple people left in Monterey, down to just one in this class. And now it might become again a divide of before and after Tahoe once we. So I'm so looking forward to having one operating system set, Sonoma Ventura, one set that looks the same. But there might be a before and after with Tahoe just because of the artificial intelligence. What's that? I'm not going to teach it until January. So if you upgrade right now, I don't have any way to show you or do anything because what I upgraded is my home computer that I can't bring here. Oh, that said, I will be teaching from home as of Wednesday, the iLife class. And so if someone mistakenly upgraded, I will have my computer there to show you because they actually, the iLife, the Photos app has shifted in how it presents things. But those of you who upgraded their phones already know that the photo app has changed on the phone. Those who upgraded in the last month, how it shows things, it did a big flip, and that now is on the computer, which it isn't here on this computers yet, but it is on the new Tahoe. But anyway, we'll deal with that. But yeah, the iPhone has presented the Photos app in a certain way for like 3 years. And in the latest upgrade, it shifted where all of the stuff is. It really is the same, but it shifted the location, the positioning things on the phone. And that just got translated to Tahoe and the Photos app. So if anyone has upgraded to Tahoe, I'll have my computer there. But for the most part, I think it'll all wait until the January, February, March set of classes.
So when one decides to upgrade to Tahoe, must they do it on each of our devices, iPad, phone?
No, they are parallel and not, so to say. You can have an older phone. Like this is an older phone. This is an iPhone 10, and if I go to the Photos app, it's already looking the new way. So, and this is has happened since probably the summer. I don't know when it shifted that it's been this way. So I already the phone has already did that upgrade a while ago. So probably you guys, but if you look at the photos, they don't look exactly the same on the computer right now as it do on the phone. Tahoe will look the same, something like that. So anyway, we'll by the way, hi, someone just showed up who says iPhone. Who just joined us? Someone called iPhone joined us. Can you tell me who you are? Oh, Maureen. Okay. No, Maud. Maud, let me change your name. Oof. Maud, you're going to have to, oh, how was your name? Rich and Fail. I'll try. Tell me if I got that right. Rich and Fail. You're muted, so I can't hear you. But if you smile, I'll know that it's good. If you don't, I'll know. I think I got that right. I don't know. But that gives me an idea of who you are. You're crooked, so you're falling over. Got to do like that to talk to you. Anyway, but you're muted, Maud, so I haven't been able to hear.
I'm working in San Francisco, so I can just stay for a little bit.
Okay, thank you. But did I get your name right enough?
Maud
Ish?
Rechenfile. Yes, Maud Rechenfile.
Wretched Fire. Okay, I got it right. Okay. I know it's quite a, the fact that I can remember these last names, I'm very proud of myself.
See, San Francisco.
All right, here we go. Now, one thing that's kind of cute, notice that here I'm using 2 mice for my 2 computers. One thing I discovered with this new setup is that I have my 2 computers and I have my older computer that is, and it's growling, it keeps crashing, but I'm still using it for some stuff. But with one mouse, I can go across all my computers now. It's so cool. Yeah, it's really fun. It's like, yay, as long as we're all on the same Wi-Fi. So yeah, it's kind of fun. Anyway, little detail. All right. But that isn't because of Tahoe. That would have been with Sequoia, but somehow I had them on different sets before because I'm connected to the cable to the internet. But when I put them both on Wi-Fi, I discovered that one mouse is everything. Anyway. All right, guys. That's it for future, so to say, iLife. Whether I recommend or not, sorry, I didn't finish answering your question. I always upgrade my phone when it comes out, and I always wait on the computer to see how the app is doing. But on the phone, some people also complain about their phone. I just let my phone upgrade automatically. That's just what I do. I'm not saying it's what I recommend, but it's what I do. I find that the constant adapting to a change is better than to suddenly wait and skip a bunch, because then you get surprised by a lot of changes. And I use the phone all the time, and when there's a change, I just see it immediately and I know how to deal with it. On the computer, where I have to sit and work and I have to be effective and productive, it's a bit harder to change without knowing the changes are going to be if things aren't working well. So I gave that one a bit more time. Plus, you don't want your computer that has all your data and everything to suddenly work weird, crash. At least for me, the computer is important to have it working well. So in fact, the fact that I have this computer, in case something went wrong with my home computer, allowed me to go, you know what, it's okay, I can upgrade my home computer, because if something goes wrong, it's the new one. Remember I told you I just bought a new one? So there's nothing really in it yet, because I've been working off of this one because the other one was crashing. So I figure I'll just upgrade it and start from scratch on that one. So if anything had gone wrong, it didn't matter because I just installed it. I didn't even have all my Adobe stuff in there or anything. So in that sense, it was easy to just upgrade and go, "Oh, okay." Later, when I'm working on it and I have like things that I need to deliver, I wouldn't have upgraded so soon. So I would just wait longer. I have never bought Apple Care before. But this time I'm paying it on a monthly basis for first couple months just to make sure because I'm doing a new setup with new monitors and I wanted to make sure everything was working, but after a while I'll get rid of it. I know how to handle and fix my computer, so I don't really need it. Now, the question is always is if you get a lemon, right? If something's wrong with your computer. So I figured if I just pay for it for a few months and the computer seems to be running well, then after that, yeah. So, but as I say that, I do recommend buying it for most people. My girlfriend walked out of the Apple store with her new really expensive phone outside the sidewalk, dropped it, shattered it, walked right back in and they gave her a new one because she had bought Apple Care. So, I mean, obviously it works, but so that's like, okay, can you imagine having just walked out with your phone and killing it instantly? But that was her story. It's not like something I read in the news. This is my good friend who told me that. I was like, oh, well, I guess it's worth it. I've never bought it for my phones, hoping I won't crash mine. I don't recommend, if you have the money, go for it. If the money is a bit of an issue, then I'd say, well, just treat it carefully. The phones are the newer phones are very crash safe, whatever. They're very unbreakable. And they're waterproof. And they're unbreakable, they're unscratchable. Anyway, guys, I told you already what I want to teach today, so let's head into that. I'm going to share my screen. And as I said, if there's anything in particular that was left behind, which is why we started talking about these things, but if there's anything else that you feel you really want to know, out of the way. And let me make this big for you guys. I'll move the chat over to this page. And make this big. And here we go. All right. So I mentioned that I wanted to talk to you about notes and reminders and how they connect again to calendar and all the rest of the apps all put together. So let's start with notes. Let's open notes. Oh, let me first say that what we finished last week was with calendar, and I'm only turning it on before I open notes to remind you that we did that, and to ask you if there's anything there that you tried to do that didn't work. We were talking about the future, and we didn't really talk about review yet. And also to show you, because I have some reminders here. So do you have anything that you tried to do? Remember your homework was to try to set up some recurring appointments, even if they were fake, like going to the moon, but just test the features and to do it and to actually maybe put some real ones. Yes, Gigi? Oh, calendars. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I didn't show you that. So let me show you that rather quickly because how to set them up is easy. So over here, this is what she's talking about. Now, this is really useful. This you would have to do in your iCloud account. Okay. And I'm going to show you some other stuff that you need to do in your iCloud account today, which is notes. And I'll tell you why. Pipeline and SPCC Teacher are Gmails accounts of mine, and iCloud is an Apple account, of course. And here, let me bring this down so you can see all of that a little bit better. And this account comes in just as the entire account, and it doesn't have the option to put little sub calendars inside of that account. And same with this one, because the Google company doesn't make that an option. Okay, so you can't to the pipeline account, put one for like a class or something. But iCloud does. You can have different, what's considered calendars. Now, these are called calendars. They're really different ways to basically put appointments in folders, like your medical ones in one, your family ones in another, something like that. So some of you might not need them and some of you might love them. I love them because of the flexibility they give you with color. Okay. That's really what I like, because then I look at my schedule and I go, okay, if I have a little bit of each color, I have a pretty balanced life, so to say. I'm not forgetting to exercise. I'm not forgetting to spend time with my family. Oh, I have a lot of work, that kind of thing. So it just helps me visually to have an idea. But also when I'm looking at everything and I'm just like, okay, I need to look for, if I need to meet Joanna for a walk, I'll know that it's going to be green, and I don't have to read everything that's here to find the one that when did I agree to walk, right? So how do you do that? Well, over here on the left side, on the panel here, if you go up, you could do it in a couple of different places. You could go up here to, I believe, File, and say New Calendar. Here would have been a new event where you want to create a new appointment, but a new calendar. So it appears over here. And right now, I guess it's trying to appear on my Mac. Let me explain that's not a good idea. I'm going to undo that, or can I? Yeah. I'm going to go here to the Apple. Why did it appear on my Mac? Here, because I just clicked on new calendar. So I don't want it on my Mac. Now, why don't I want it on my Mac? Because anything I write on my Mac doesn't get sent to my phone. So how useless would it be to have stuff on my Mac if it's a calendar, then I look at my phone and it's not there. There's another possibility on your phone called On My Phone, but then that gets sent to your Mac. So I avoid using these. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to right click on this one that I created and say delete, because I don't want one on my Mac. And this time, when I go and say File New Calendar, I'm going to head over here and say iCloud. Choose iCloud. There we go. And they call this one, I already have quite a few here. Let's call this one, I got health. Let's call this one kids, for example, like, because I don't actually need that one so much anymore, but I used to put it when I had to cart my kids around to their things, right? And notice that by default it came out orangish, which is the same color as my pipeline one, at least here, which means it's the same color as work. So if I don't want that, I can right click and assign it a different color. So I'm going to make it be purple. No, work is kind of purple. Let me make it be brown. Now I don't have to live with these colors. I can also right click and choose here a custom color and decide to make it be, I don't know, bright pink, for example. There, I'm going to make it bright pink. Or that was bright purple. There we go. So now that's my kids. Okay, now why does this matter? As I said, this is nothing official. It's all under the cloud. But now when I make an appointment, so say tomorrow over here, I need to take them to the park or whatever, take kids to the park. Since I was selecting that one, they've already came out in that mode. But what if it had I had not been selecting that one? What if it had come out as exercise, and I can go over here and choose the different one? What if this was really family time, or this was home, or this was health or exercises? You see how each time it changes color, right? And so if you are someone who color makes a difference, then there you go. That makes a difference to me. Now this one here was the color of SBCC teacher that I made the other day. This one I'm making in the calendar apps. So it helps now. Some people might have some calendars, and this, I can't give you an example of this, but some people might have calendars given to you by others that you join. Like, to say the truth, by having the pipeline one here, I have the, for better or for worse, I have the, by having my calendar here, other people who need to make appointments for me, for example, if I need to make appointment with the dean or the VP, they can go in and see when I teach and know when I'm not teaching to try to make an appointment for me. That doesn't mean that they'll see all my other appointments though. So that doesn't mean that I'm free. They can ask me, but at least they'll know when I'm not, they'll see my teaching calendar because it is a school calendar, right? And when they send me an invitation through Pipeline, you saw the other day, then it shows up here as this stuff because I sent it to that account and I have that account loaded up in here. So that's just a comment on how others can do that. But in this case, Romeo and Pirouette, this was, and I left it here as a sample. This is from many years ago. My son was in theater classes when he was at school. And the teacher had set up a calendar where he set up all the rehearsals and the times, how parents need to bring stuff and take stuff and set up things. Cause us parents, yes. And so he set up all the schedules there. And so all you needed to do was accept the invitation to have that calendar be in there. And then in my calendar, I would have something here that said, rehearsal 10 p.m. or whatever, 10 a.m. or whatever then rehearsals were. It would just appear in my calendar. Now I could have said, nah, I don't want that, right? And not see them as much as I might. This is in my SBCC teachers. I can say, I don't want to see those, right? So all you need to do is turn this. If I go ahead and say, I don't want to see my Pipeline stuff, I turn this off. I don't see them. Turn it on, I see them. You see that? I don't want to see my exercise. Boom, my green goes away. If I don't want to say my kids take this park, it goes away. Now, the only time I do this, sometimes I need to set up appointments like I'm already being asked about next summer. I'll go in and I'll clear everything else. I'll set up my teaching schedule, and then I know I can set my life around that. So then I'll just turn all these off for a bit so that I can just look at how, because when there's as I told you, this isn't so much, but in my real life, I have stuff going on all these other times and I see everything all at once and it's just too much. So I'll turn everything else off and I'll just see my teaching. I'll go, is that too much? Is that too little? Do I have any extra time? Do I not have time in between? What's happening? So it seems like I didn't do that very well because over here, if you look at these here, I am teaching till 4:45 p.m. And this isn't even correct. I have it for 4:25. It was that way when we scheduled it, and then they changed it, and I didn't change it in my schedule. So now my Living Night Left class is going to finish at 4:45. Did I do that? Oh no, because this is the one that they have set up for me. That's the problem. I don't have the rights to change this one. So here we go. And this one, I'm going to take as of next week, I don't have to travel because I'm going to be home. So I'm going to take off the travel time. Okay, now why am I doing this? Because had they not changed the schedule on this, I would have noticed that I'm setting up a 4-hour class. I have 15 minutes and then I have another bunch of hours going as of next Wednesday. Like I literally have 15 minutes between the two classes and I would have paid attention to that. I did. This class was supposed to finish over there and then they shifted it because they noticed they hadn't put enough times. Anyway, so now as of next Wednesday, I'll be teaching basically with no nonstop. But that's why I'd like to turn everything else off to see those things, to see if maybe something got scheduled wrong. But other than that, I leave them all on and I just look and see anything that's orange is teaching and I just separate it and it's okay, whatever it is. And then everything that's not orange is the rest of my life, right? So that helps. Now, if you don't want one of these anymore, if you decide you don't want kids, so careful. I made an appointment under kids, right? This says, I believe I left it. Did I leave it? Yeah, I left it in the kids. So now I go over here and I go, I don't need this one anymore. So I can right click and delete the calendar. Do you want to delete kids? Like delete anything that any appointment I'm into that, or do you want to merge it into another existing calendar? Okay, because otherwise, what if I have appointments for them, 2 birthday parties next month or whatever? What if I had, if you just delete it, if you just say delete, everything that you have classified kids is going to be deleted with it, right? So in this case, I would just say merge and say which one, merge it to family time, for example, and then say merge. Okay, so now this turned blue and it turned into family time. See that? So just be careful that if you are going to delete anything and you don't want to lose those appointments, to merge them. Okay, when you want to clean up or clarify. You just double click on it, click, and then click one more time. It's not double click, it's click and click one more time. So it's 2 clicks, but they're not double click. It's click, space, click. And then you can call this one kids. Okay. Cool. So now I want to point you to something else that I have here. Way at the bottom, I have this thing that says walk dog, walk dog. And then I have another thing that says repeating reminder. Can you tell that it's kind of gray? And if I look over here, it looks like it's there. It's there. It's still there. It's something that I set up somewhere, and it doesn't look like an appointment. And it's a reminder. Now, for years and years and years, the reminders were, here's my repeating reminder. That's once a week. Okay, once a week I keep going, and there it is. But the walk dog is daily. Versus this says wash the dog, but it's got this color and whatnot. So this is an event on my calendar. Okay, and it looks like it's repeating. See those little arrows, and it repeats weekly. So technically that means that once a week on Saturdays. And by the way, these are examples that I did last time I taught this. And it's making me a little bit sad because my dog just passed away. Not just a couple months ago, but when I made these examples, I was still walking and washing the dog. But it's okay. Just, I see that. Still, it was just an example. It wasn't real, and we didn't call him the dog. I would have put my dog's name there. But anyway, so here's today, and it's in dark black. But for the next few days, it's all in gray, right? And it's just reminders. Now, it used to be that the reminders app and the calendars app were separate on the Mac for many, many years. And thus, I just didn't use the reminders app because I needed all my stuff in the same place, or I wouldn't, I would be doing things that were wrong. The reminders app was really good for planning things and having schedules in a very different way. Like inside of work, I could create a whole project and just put sub, if the project is make a brochure where all the different parts and pieces talk to the printer, talk to the client, all the different parts of the project, you could put schedules and dates, you could assign things to people. So it's really useful, but it didn't combine with the calendar. So that was always a bit of a problem. Well, now for quite a few sessions, but I'm not sure Sonoma. So I don't, sorry, I'm not sort of Ventura. So Julie, you have Ventura, you'll have to tell me. Oh, and your hand is up. I'm sorry. I haven't been paying attention. Let me ask you in a second, but anyone who has Ventura will have to tell me whether what I'm going to teach you now in the calendar is going to work for reminders. I don't know if it will, but I'm sure Sonoma has it already. Yes, Julie?
Can I share my screen?
Sure. I'm going to stop my share. Go for it. Do you want me to stop the share? The recording?
No, that's fine. It's nothing personal.
All right. Oh, I think you're talking and I can't hear you. I was looking at your mouse and then I went, sure, her mouse is moving and I can't hear you. So unmute yourself, please. Go down to your audio and unmute yourself. Well, go ahead and stop your share, unmute yourself and then share again maybe. Because somehow you have it hidden. Let me stop your share.
Is that?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. You're unmuted now.
Okay. If I click on red on exercise at the top.
Yeah.
Then I go down to birthdays. Why does that show up red?
First of all, it's unchecked, so you should check it. And that's because we had discovered that you had repeated birthdays.
Oh.
And so you decided to turn that off. The other day you had birthdays on 2 different places. Remember you were getting
Yeah, right.
birthdays?
So now for meetings, if I click my thing on meetings, like nothing happens.
You seem to have made it a folder, so go to the left side, there's an arrow there, and you can open it up, and it's like you have calendars under meetings.
No.
No, so you made folders instead of calendars. So go up to File, and you made a new calendar group instead of new calendar. So a new calendar group would be, it's kind of like a folder. If you could put, you know, family, a folder called family, and then you would have kids, school, park, something like that. But I've never used new calendar groups. I've never needed calendar groups for a calendar, but you don't have the calendars in there yet. So make it, if you make a new calendar called meetings, go to on iCloud, or you have them all on my Mac. I would definitely put them on the cloud, as I said before, but then again, you don't have an iPhone. So maybe if you're just using this on your phone, it's okay. But anyway,
So then I would just say meetings. Is that?
yeah, and then delete the other one. So the bottom, anything that's a group or a folder isn't a thing in and of itself. It just hold things. So say that one of mine was called work, and I had a group or one of those little folders, like she has family and friends and meetings. I could have one called work, and inside of that, I might have different things for work. Like I might have meetings versus clients versus. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the need to break it down into that much myself. So it seems a bit too much. So I have not put grouped stuff in my calendars. Someone
Okay.
who's ultra organized might get to that point. I'm fine going as far as saying exercise, but not like swimming versus whatever versus walking versus horseback riding or whatever people might want subgroups in there. I don't know. To me,
I
exercise.
probably just did it by mistake.
Yeah. So now you can just delete the family and friends, right click and delete it, and then make a calendar called family and friends. Yeah. So
Okay.
right click on the family and friends and delete that, and then go and make a new calendar. And again, on the iCloud or on my Mac, you seem to be making them on the, so yeah, and now you get in there and you give it whatever name you want. Okay.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
you asked, yeah, because I hadn't, since I didn't tell people to do a group, had you explained that, I wouldn't have known what the issue was. I'm glad you shared your screen. Yes, Marta?
So if Blas and I wanted to share calendars so that I know when he has classes and he knows how when I have classes,
Oh,
what
yeah,
would be the best way to do that?
great question. These are great ways to, here, do you want to just share your screen and I'll show you? I mean, maybe I'll share mine. Okay, I'll share mine.
Sure.
Let me share my entire window. So yeah, say that this family time was something that I wanted my husband to be able to have in his calendar as well, right? So see how I can click on that right there? I didn't, when you click on them, a little face, no matter what you do, when you click on them, a little face appears back there. You see that?
Okay. Yes.
So I'm going to grab family time. I'm going to click on that little face icon, and it comes up with share with or public calendar. Public calendar is an example of this one, the Roman period. The teacher put this as a public calendar, and then you sent us an invitation to subscribe to it. And that's what we did. So I could have it be a public calendar. As long as they get in my invitation, they can subscribe to it. And that's what Roman period. But I could also just click here and share with, and then I can write that person. So say that I start Jane Doe. It has to be someone that's in my book. And I'll say, share it with Jane Doe. Okay. So when I say done, Jane Doe is going to get an invitation to join that calendar. And when they do, this will appear over there. And when I put an appointment in mine, she'll see it. When she takes it off, she'll see it. So that's shared versus the public one was handled by the teacher, and we wouldn't make changes to it. You just see it appear on you. But this one is a shared one now. So now when Jane Doe agrees, she has just as much right to move things around or, you know, do whatever she needs to that calendar and I need too. So both of us can work on that calendar. Does that make sense?
So if we shared our pipeline, so if we, let's say all my classes,
I'm
my-
not sure, you can't share a whole account. That's different. I'm saying these here.
okay,
So if you have classes, instead of setting it up in your pipeline account, because you don't get them automatically from pipeline, you have to set them up. Set them up here. Make a folder called, make a calendar called classes, right? Go up here and say new calendar in the iCloud called classes, right? And then you make your class time here and you call it classes, right? And so this is Blas is doing, I don't know, what class can he be taking? Yoga,
he's woodworking.
woodwork, okay. Woodworking class. I don't know. Then if you share this calendar with you, then you can put Marta, you know, Marta's whatever, math class, right?
Okay,
Then you guys would see it. And if you both have classes at the same time, then that's okay. You'd share the spot, right? But you'd both be seeing it and you both would be having access to that.
perfect. Okay,
different
thank you
colors.
so much.
All right. So yes, you can share a calendar and you can both use it, but one of these that you make in here, not the actual entire account. You can't share the entire account. It's a Gmail thing. You can do that with your iCloud account.
Okay, thank you. That helps
And
me
it's
a
as
lot.
simple as if you already set this one up, for example, to be in your pipeline account, you can just right click and change it and now make it in your classes account. That's how simple it would be. It's not like you gotta, you know, lose everything you've already done. You know what I mean?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Great questions. I'm glad you asked. Okay. Let me lower your hand. All right. Yes, Gigi?
calendar. So I start off the calendar. Start there, or should I just the date?
It's so easy to switch that it doesn't matter. I tend to forget to select it. I just make an appointment and I'll just say whatever, dentist. And then when I go over here and just switch it to health. Or you can select health first. Then when you make it, it just comes out in health, right? Whatever, doctor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that.
It doesn't matter if you do it. It's
The first time around, I could start off the calendar and then
say I'm under work. Say have
go over.
if the last one I made was work, then that's so it depends. Like the last one you made, if the last one I made was an exercise appointment. So say that I'm here on exercise. See how the exercise got selected? Or if I select this one, see how family time got selected. So whichever last, this one is pipeline, whichever last assignment, appointment I selected, that's the pre-selected thing. So when I try to make a new one here, it's going to come up as it's that. And then I just go here, go, nope, this time I'm making an exercise over here. Yeah. So I'll just say, oh no, this was supposed to be a sunset hike or whatever, right? So, and then I go over here and I call it a sunset hike. Or maybe it's health, although I leave health for things like appointments, right? So it doesn't matter if you, I'm rarely going to remember to go, oh, let me go make a home appointment and go make it. Usually I'll just make an appointment and whatever it is, and then I'll switch it over here to make it be a work appointment, right? So yeah, it's so easy to switch that if you want to remember to click on this first to then select it, go for it. But I find it easier to make something and then forget about it. Now, I find that any appointment I make, I want to have more details on it. So I haven't really shown you, but there's this little plus sign here where you can make a really quick, a quick thing. But let me just show you something first. when I double click on this one that says walk dog, right? It looks a bit different than this one as far as the options are. It's because this is a calendar event and this is a reminder, which, as I told you, are two different apps. So if I go to my reminders app, it's a different app. But before, you could only do your appointments and reminders, your calendar, and now you can make your reminders in your calendar. So if I were to create something new right there, right? The first thing that you notice is that it asks you, is this an event or a reminder? And I've been only showing you how to set up an event, but I could also set it up as a reminder, right? So in the same tool that I've already taught you, I could be creating this as a reminder. What's the difference? For so many years, I've been using my calendar to make myself the reminders that I also have to remind myself, well, this is an appointment as a reminder. Drop off donations on the way to class. So the class is an appointment, so to say, that I'll put in here. But that's just a reminder. Stop, get off, and whatever, like when we drop off the donations, then come here. Yeah, so that would be better. Before, to not forget to do it, I would set it up as an appointment and I'd get myself a little alarm so it would pop in. But in reality, it's not an appointment. It's really a reminder. So that's an example. So now I'm going to say drop off donations, right? And then there's so many things that I can do to this reminder. I could make a note of box is in garage, for example. I don't know, because this, I'm just throwing out, obviously I would know that. There's ways of tagging reminders. I'm not going to teach you tagging right now. When, remind me on November 7th at a certain time, or, and this is interesting, you can also be reminded at a location. So instead of drop off donations, I'm going to say, ask Emma to add CAP to iLife class, for example, right? And I could have said, like, had I remind at a location, enter a location, and I could say getting into the Wake Center, Wake campus. So by saying that, when I arrived at the Wake campus, I would have received a little reminder on phone going, oh, so I would pop into Emma's office and I would have gone, hey, Emma, can you add a CAP? Does that make sense? Because it can remind me at a time. So maybe I would have asked it to remind me at 12:30. I arrived here at 12:30 to get ready for teaching. Came a bit late today. So say that at 10:30 it reminded me, and I was still stuck in the traffic. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a traffic plug today coming in from the east side. I live in the east side. So I would be there and I'd be in the car and I'd get at 12:30. I'd go, oh, good, reminded me to talk to Emma. But also when I arrived, right, because I told it arriving at a location, I would say, arrive me to do that. Or interestingly, when messaging a person, so the next time I, so I'm going to write Emma in there. So the next time I open a text app to text Emma, I'd get a reminder. Ask her to do the task. So there's all these different ways that I can be reminded. I don't have to use them all. I'm just saying some might work better than others. Or this is something that I need to be reminded all the time. Like every weekend, I set up my emails for you guys for all the classes, all my reminder emails that show up at 6 a.m. I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. Getting up at 5 to send an email to everyone. I, on Sunday, set up scheduled 6 a.m. emails for all my classes that week. So the new one, for example, only has a pipeline. And then go back. No. So then, but I could I have a reminder. Actually, that's interesting because I have it as an event, because for years and years it's been an event for Sundays, set up my emails. I'm going to change it to a reminder now that this conversation is happening.
We can't hear you, Diana.
hear me now? Can you hear
Yes.
me? Yeah, I thought yes. Okay.
Yes.
So now where am I going? What kind of priority is it? High, low, medium? There's different things. Say I call this one a high one. And then it'll ask me what list I have, like groups and lists in my reminders. And right now I have only a couple, so I'll just leave it in my general reminders one. Anyway, so there's all these different things I can do for that reminder. I just called it, let me repeat it, daily. Say I'm going to ask Emma daily, whatever, just so you see a daily one at 12:30 p.m. So now I'm set. And so over here, let me I have to move things out of the way. Cool. I've got the Zoom stuff in the way. Let me move some things out of the way. There we go. All right. So now here it is. Ask Emma to do it. See how every 12:30 p.m. I have that one, which doesn't match with the Ask Emma feature, but it's just because, but just so you can see, and it looks like I set it up for Friday to always do that. Now let me set it up for starting today so that we can see it a bit sooner. There it is. It's a reminder. Okay, let me move it over to there so we can just see it better. Okay, so that was a reminder. Now, a reminder can be over something because I could get a little reminder right at the end of when I'm teaching this class so that when I'm done teaching, I pick up my phone and there will be a little reminder tab, right? That says, ask Emma, you know, so they don't necessarily push things aside the way an appointment would, because you could set a reminder on top. Like when I'm meeting with this person, give me a reminder to ask her about this or about that. Okay, so that's a reminder. Now, I'm showing to the reminders from here where all we can do is make them, but we can't really create, organize lists and all that. This is just, we can make them. I wanted to show you really quickly this plus sign here because I've been showing you all of these complicated, so to say, many options of what we can do for an event. But in reality, you can also just do a quick little plus sign and then just see, it could be an event or a reminder, right? Let me just plus sign and I'll just create a quick event. See how it says movie at 7 p.m. on Friday? So you can just write lunch with Joanna at 4 p.m. Sunday. And boom, well, if it wouldn't other than for my typo, there it is. On Sunday, I have a lunch with Joanna. Okay. So well, I'm going to just delete that. So that little plus sign, the reason I'm showing this to you, because that's also a feature that we have on our phones in that control panel, where when you meet with someone, you can just really quickly do something like that. Later, you can flesh it out if you want, but you just wanted to do a quick little appointment or something. You can do it that way on your phone. I'm going to share my phone with you guys now for a second to show you this, because I have been a bit neglectful of sharing phone stuff with you guys lately. Here, let me just delete. I have so many open things. The more there is to show, the harder it is to show it in two different areas. But I know a lot of people use their phones to do this more than their computers, because if you meet someone and you go, hey, sure, let's meet on Sunday to talk about that. Well, here you have your phone with you, right? So yes, I can go to my calendar, right? Open my calendar. I'm gonna back out and I can say that I want to add an appointment. I can literally click and drag over here my finger, do it the same as we did on the computer. Or I can go to this little plus sign there and then just start everything and say, you know, lunch, Joanna. So this is the long version, you know, where I put all my details and everything in there. So I'm gonna not do that right now. Let me just show you, instead of doing it all individual, the whole like long appointment where you're setting up the reminders twice a week. This is just a quick little, I just need to make a quick appointment and then take time to do it. That's the good old control panel. Remember I told you, you swipe down from the top corner right down? Then there's all these different apps here that you can use. And one of them is where you can make a quick calendar event. And it's a really easy, good one. So what I can do is I can go and add that to my phones, because right now it's not here. Right now I have a flashlight, I have a
Are you
timer if I
on
want to
your
make.
phone?
What's that?
Are you on your phone?
Yeah, you're not seeing it. Let me stop my share and
No,
start it.
no, I've just, it shows your phone. I can't, when I swipe down, it doesn't work. I probably have to swipe up.
No, you have to swipe. It's not down, it's diagonal. Let me make a little pencil mark to show you where it is. It's literally from the right corner. Oh, I need my marker. There we go. You go from here to there, like from the right corner. You start outside and you gently move your finger down, like gently, and not even that long, right? Just like, don't, like that. And the control panel appears. Did that work for everyone?
No.
Okay. If you have
Here's what I get.
hold on. Do you have if you have an S, like one of the older phones, I think it's
Oh, I do. I have an
iPhone
iPhone
10.
7.
Okay, then it's from down here. You put it's like just a gentle pull from the bottom, like that. Like just a gentle pull from the bottom up. That's how it was for years. Now when we gentle pull from the bottom, we get something else on the newer phones. But for older phones, it was this gentle pull from the bottom in. And from, like, this is an iPhone 10, so for many years now, it's a pull from the top, like that. Okay. And when you get that, oh, and it'll be different, because for those of us with a newer phone, there's a plus sign here. But for you who have an older phone, Barbara, or anyone who has an older phone that you had to pull it up from the bottom, then you actually have to hold here, press down, or even press on one of them down for a little bit, and then they start to jiggle, or something like that. But I'm trying to remember how it used to be. But for the rest of us, now we have a plus sign there. So let's go click on that plus sign. So, sorry, plus sign. And see how everything becomes like there's a minus and a little kind of a holder, like a little holder for everything. And that's, let me get rid of this pink.
Mine's kind of like that. It's a little different, but yeah.
It is, because it's the old version. It's a little bit different, but still. So now we're going to go to add a control. And let me delete that. And I need to talk to you guys for a second before we go. So add a control. And here's all the possible controls. And there's so many of them. They're really, useful and not useful. It depends on what you want. Oh, quick notes. I use this one all the time. And so I'm about to teach you notes. Maybe we can put one of these. So this would be a quick note versus a note. It's equivalent to what I just said about the appointment. Make a whole appointment or make a quick little just appointment. So let me just add the notes one just so that you have something there. I'm going to add the notes. And so the notes one appeared. Now I want to add another one. I wanted to go find that calendar one. So add a control. Let me see, where is, let me see, event. Quick note.
Will appear here.
Am I wrong about that? Since I always open the calendar, maybe I'm wrong about this one.
I
Maybe
tried calendar and it didn't come up.
reminder. All right, well, maybe I am so wrong.
Reminder shows up.
Okay, well, there's so many choices. By the way, this one's so cool. I'm gonna show you the measurement one for no reason whatsoever, just because I wanted to put another one. Okay, so when you're done adding, and you guys can try more, we're done. Now you can just put your mouse somewhere around here and that turns it off. Okay, so now I have the quick notes I've added and the measurement one, but I didn't add a calendar one, so I was wrong. That's a widget on the computer, huh? Okay, all right, so there we go. That goes to show there's so many things that are new that I can't always remember. Just let me really quickly show you the measurement one because it's so cool. Which is this one that I just added. Have you ever been at a store? Well, I told you I just remodeled something. You go to a store and you need to find something and you're like, okay, let me see how big is this monitor screen. I can put this little dot that you see there. I'm going to put it on the corner of this monitor. I'm going to press plus, and I'm going to just drag down to the corner of this monitor and stop it. And that's telling me that that's a 25-inch connection. So, you know, when you're like trying to remember, is that going to fit, not fit? Anyway, I'm just going to clear that. Just kind of funny. And then it also makes your phone be a level. Anyway, I just had to, we all look at raw. Anyway, so I guess I was wrong about having one that makes appointments, which I don't know, but I do have one that makes quick notes that I just put in there. So when I show you the notes in a little bit longer, we'll be able to come back to this one. But anyway, so on your phone, you would go over here and to the calendar and you would just click on the plus sign, I guess. Or you can click over here and click and drag your finger and then just start a new one as well, right? So that would be another way to start it and say lunch. Lunch from 12 to 1 or whatever you want to write, location, cancel, what time, calendar over here. I would go, oh, here's the home. No, it's a exercise. Okay. So you see where it calls for calendar. So same as what we did on the computer. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on it, but yeah. So when I say add, there it comes, right? So let me go over to the reminders app. Let's head over to this computer and I'm going to open the reminders app. So I'm going to minimize the calendar and open the reminders app, which I happen to have down there. But if you don't have it here, you all know that to open the reminders app, you have to either go to, I've shown you 3 different ways to open it. One would be go into the Finder window and go to Applications, and go to the R for the reminders app. That would be kind of the longer way. You could also go to the Spotlight at the top, Spotlight search, and write reminders. Or remember that you can always go to the Launchpad, which, by the way, those of you who like a Launchpad, it's gone from Tahoe. They don't have a Launchpad anymore. What they have right here is actually something similar, but it's the Spotlight. The Spotlight has become so much more useful in Tahoe, and it's very, it is powered by artificial intelligence. And it gives you many more options. And one of the things it gives you is open your applications from the Spotlight. And when you click on Spotlight, it shows you here all your applications. Anyway, so you can do reminders. And there's the reminders app. So once you find the reminders app, let's open it up. Okay. All right. So everyone, when you find the reminders app, give me a yes. Everyone at home, I want to make sure that you found them.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. So let me reshare for a second because I want to have you able to read this better. Here we go. Let me share just the reminders app so you can see it bigger. Okay. So here we have an app that right now has the default settings that are, you can't find the reminders app. Okay, just click on it. That's okay. Yeah, don't click. Yeah. Anyone else who can't find it? Anyone at home that needs it or doesn't have it? Or I'm not seeing Barbara. I'm seeing Yolanda, Kristen. Martha, did you find it? Oh, you said yes on your other one. Okay. All right. So here I have on the left side, I have a couple of the default settings. Now I have this one called assigned that I see that you guys don't have, but you all have today, scheduled, all, flagged, and completed, right? You seem to have those as your defaults. And then down here I have my lists and I have 2 examples, one called reminders, one called project build garden shed, whatever. So these are ones that I've made in my life. Okay. So say that I don't do anything, don't create a list, right? Looks like I have some appointments that I've been, reminders I've been making, and notice that they are all showing and they say today. but they have a date, April 15th, right? Or June 29th. Turns out that these reminders came and went, and I never clicked that I had completed it. So they're showing up as late. So they still show, because it's red, so they're still showing up as due today because I never checked on them. I make them here in class and then I don't check on them. So look what's going to happen if I say, oh, I've already completed to choose Photoshop photos. I click on this guy, ping, and now I only have 7 there, and see how it disappeared? Now, it's not completely disappeared. If I were to want to pick it again, I could go to my completed, and there it is. Today I completed choose photos. That was supposed to have been done the 6th, on June 29th, but I completed it today. Okay, so that's that one. If I go back to today, had I done all these things, choose Illustrator images, I'm going to click on it, and so now I have 6 due today, and it disappeared. So for people who are good at wanting to, start the day with lists, as you check them off, they disappear. Now, what if I want to do this one again, for better, for worse? I could have my completed disappear, or I can leave them there and I can unclick it. It goes back into today mode. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the date. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I need to do it for next class, right? So I can go in to that one that exists already, click on this little I, and I can say that this is now due in November 4th. Okay, so now it's not there. Why? Because it's not due today. November 4th is tomorrow. So it's not on today's list. Does that make sense? But if I go to scheduled, for tomorrow, I'm going to have the choose Illustrator images. So tomorrow, this one will be in today. Does that make sense? Nope. Yep. Maybe. So past due are the ones that appear as today, and that's just because I haven't done them. So if I were to go and click on all of these because I've done them, then I'd be left with, hey, I've done everything I need to do today. That said, in the afternoon, because I didn't put a time on it, I have one that says, and I remember I called it a priority, so these little are appearing. Ask Emma to add CAP to iLife class. When is it? It's going to happen today at 3:45, and it's only 2:22. Okay, and tonight I'm going to be reminded of walking the dog. Does that make sense? I had all those under today because they were old. The red was telling me I hadn't done them. So now I only have 4 things scheduled. I have 2 things that are due today. And then under scheduled, I can see that for tomorrow I have choose Illustrator image and a thing called repeating reminder test, which we saw in my calendar. It's just a reminder test. So those things are going to be there every day. Does that make sense? So you can basically make a list for today and check it off today, or you can schedule things that you need to do tomorrow, the day after, on Friday, when you talk to someone, and they'll sit under scheduled and they'll move into today when it's today. Does that make sense? So if I just want to see everything no matter what, I can click on all, and then this is all the stuff that I still need to do. Now, if I want to go and clear the completed list because I don't want to have things hanging in there forever, then I can just click on clear. And boom, everything that's done is done. I don't need to hang on to them. I keep here because I want to keep teaching them. But I could just say that this one's been done and just delete one at a time. I can right click on this one and just delete that one, right? So I don't have to have these here forever. Here I have things from 2024, whatever, right? Buy carrots. And I said, remind me when getting in car. And this was something I set up on April 25. So does it need to be there anymore? No, but if it's something that I'm going to be repeating, then maybe I could leave it there and then just set it up again, right? Because if I'm going to keep having to choose the Digital Sign Techniques files, and instead of deleting it, I can just select it and change the date to when I need to do it again in November and December. Does that make sense? So repetitive things can go in there for you to then reassign. All right. Now, let's say that we make one for today. What are we going to do this evening, for example? So let's go over here to this little plus sign and we'll make a new one. So what reminder do we need? Go to the store after class. Go to the post office. Okay. Post office. Okay. And is that today? Okay. What time? Okay. So I can either look for something like that, or I can just click in there and I can write it myself. 4 p.m. Do you want to be reminded when you're getting in or out of the car, or when you are leaving a certain location? Okay, so Wake campus. Okay, and instead of arriving, I'm going to say getting out of the car, post office. If there's anything else I want, I can click on this I for information and add much more. Like, what am I sending? Box to my daughter. Oh, boss. Box to my daughter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so you can keep. You might want to remind it before you leave so that you don't take off in a different direction. So maybe 15 minutes before 4, you'll get a little reminder, and that'll be like, oh, that's true. When I get in the car, I shouldn't head for home. I should turn left and go to the doctor's office. I clicked on the plus sign. Tapped on the plus. There's a little plus sign. Right there. To make that reminder. Okay. So at 4 p.m., in fact, let me say 10 or 15 minutes before that, you should be getting a little reminder. Okay. Now, when if I don't check it off after 4 p.m., it's going to appear red. It'll have a little red date on it because I didn't do it. Like if I go to the completed right now and I turn this off, let me say that I didn't do these 3. When I go to today, now I have 3 that are old. See, I unchecked them because I hadn't done them, and that's why they're showing in red. But no, you get a little alarm and then you do it or don't do it, right? It's like, it's up to you. Yeah, it would be nice. I wouldn't mind having an alarm telling me that I forgot, the computer at home or stuff like that. I wish we could. And no, just an alert. An alert is a little thing. Now, how do you choose those reminders? So by the way, now that I deleted one, see how now I have the recently deleted again. Recently deleted appeared because I just deleted something. Those will last there. All the recently deleted, they last there for a month, and then after that they disappear, unless you don't want them there at all. But if I click in here and I see after 30 days, after that they'll be deleted. But if instead I wanted to recover, I didn't mean to delete that one, I can just recover it. I'm going to leave that sitting there because I want to have something deleted, but I could. Now, what are these lists for? So for example, I've created a project. Within that project, I had a reminder, contact electrician, which I guess it seems like I never did. I can make another reminder in here. I can make another reminder inside of here and say buy roof tiles, right? And I can say where and when and all that kind of things. I'd say that that's that. But the most importantly, I'm going to make one more, I don't know, finish design, right? And then I could assign this to someone. So maybe someone else is going to finish the design, not me. So I know. So it's kind of cool, right? I'm going to click on that and I can click on this. I can assign it to, and it turns out that right now I had already assigned this to someone else, which happened to be my business account here, but I can assign it to someone else, right? I can assign it to no one or to me. I could be the one that's assigned, or I could assign it to someone and I can choose who to assign it to. So over here, why is it not letting me choose another person? Assign to. Oh, because you first need to share this has to be a shared list with someone, right? And so you would manage that shared list, and looks like I shared it with business services. So say I shared it with Jane Doe again. Let me just say Jane Doe. I'm going to email or invite, this person, Jane Doe. And there's Jane Doe. That's my appointment. That's my for you. So I'm going to say copy link, send, or I can email her instead or whatever. So once that person has accepted, and see, since this is a fake person, I can't necessarily assign it, but I had added myself as another one. Then once that person accepts, then over here, I'm going to have Jane Doe also as a choice of who to assign this to. It'll say business doc, it'll say Jane Doe, it'll say Mark, Harry, Dick, and John, and I can say, okay, this person is in charge. So then they're going to have that as a reminder that it pops up for them. You could have little sub sections. So I can have a new section called, the design, and then I can have another section. And so the design belongs under there. How did I move that? I'm trying to remember. There, I just drag it over. Oh, come on. But then this is a different section, and this is called construction, right? And then I might have another portion called what? Permits, right? And so then and then one appointment here would be that I need to contact, maybe I need to go to City Hall or whatever. When am I going to do that? Does that make sense? So you can create like the project deadlines, due times, milestones, whatever you need ahead of time, so that you can see how you're doing, if you're keeping up to get to the construction, because I can't do that until I do that. So maybe I first need to do, this needs to be done before I get to the other one. So maybe, okay. So I'm gonna actually put City Hall under permits, and maybe permits needs to go, first I design it, then I go to the permits, then I start with the construction. Okay, and then if everything has coordinated dates and stuff like that, then it kind of helps you complete projects. And then if say that finish the design has a date, and I'm going to put on a day when November 3rd at a time at 3 p.m. Good. So I gave it a time. Now let's go to our calendar. Let me share my entire window. Let me open my calendar. And now today, at 3 p.m. there it is. It's a reminder, finish design, which is on top of what I'm teaching, but does that make sense? That reminder I made over there is appearing right now. Thus, if I have all my reminders set up, like for example, if for City Hall, I need to remind myself, say I'm going to be the one to do it, then remind me early. Remind me one day before that I need to do this. So say that I am going to go to the City Hall tomorrow at 3. Then, because that's in 2 days. It says your reminder is already passed. Okay, so it's for the 5th, and I want to be reminded one day before, right? So when I go over here for the 5th, it'll show, did I do it for the right? Let me see, let me go back to the reminder. City Hall, I have to do it in November. Oh, because I didn't give it a time. Now without a time, it doesn't appear in my calendar. So at 3 p.m. So now on the 5th, I guess it needs to refresh because it's still with no time. 3 p.m. There we go. So now I moved into 3 p.m. But I'm going to be reminded this day that I need to go to the City Hall tomorrow at 3 p.m. Does that make sense? But now, since it's an appointment, if I have had to make an appointment, then I might write it in as an appointment. Like if I actually had to call and meet with someone, then I might make it as an appointment. But if it's just, don't forget to drive by a City Hall to pick up a form, then there you go. Okay? Yeah. So, but that doesn't appear in my calendar. I'm going to get an alert on my phone the day before. Tomorrow, you have to go to City Hall. Or in an hour, you have to go to City Hall if you choose to be reminded an hour before. No, because this is when it'll happen, right? But I will be reminded one day before. Okay. That, yeah, I get an alert the day before. I need that kind of stuff. I'm not my husband looks at the date and knows what he's doing that day, or looks at the day before at night before going, he sees what he's doing. I need a reminder to remind me that tomorrow, next, I'm gonna have to do this or that. Okay. Oh, I did say stop to the reminder. Let me check in on Barbara's question, which I'm sorry I let you go this long, and then we'll all take a break. Yes, Barbara?
I put a note on today on my calendar on my computer. How do I get it to my telephone?
Okay, it should be on your phone as long as you have, oops, some iPhone is joining us. So as long as you went to your internet accounts, okay, and as long as you have turned on, if you did this in the iCloud, for example.
Okay, my two accounts are different. My computer's in my name and my phone's in my daughter's account.
Well, you'll never be able to get them to connect.
Okay.
This is important. There's never ever a chance for my appointments to show up in my husband's phone.
Okay, so I just
Unless I
manually need
share
to do
the
it.
document with them, because it's two different accounts, okay? So if your phone and your computer are not under the same iCloud account, you will always have to depend on one or the other, okay?
My daughter pays for 6 or 7 phones, so she just put mine on with hers because it was cheaper than what I was paying. So I'll just do it.
No, but I don't understand. How she pays for it has nothing to do with what iCloud account you set up on your phone.
Oh, well, my phone, I might have my iCloud account. I'll check into it.
Basically, the
It's just that
iCloud
she pays
account
my phone
is
bill.
what matters.
My
Who's paying
phone's
for
in.
the AT&T or whatever, that's
Yeah.
a totally different thing. But you set up your iCloud account and hers, set up both. And then in that sense, if you want, not your iCloud, you can only set up one iCloud account, but you can put in her email if she wants to have some control over it. I know, but if your computer has your iCloud account and your phone has a different iCloud account, they'll never talk. It's like,
Can
I
I
think of my
change my
son's-
iCloud account? Because I made it when I was with Cox, and I think,
no, it doesn't matter if your
Okay.
iCloud account is called Cox. It's still your iCloud account. It does not go through Cox at all. Some people have AOLs that they haven't used in 10 years. That's still your iCloud name. Okay.
right, but so it's a Cox thing instead of a
No,
Frontier
it doesn't
thing.
matter. It's just the name of your account. It does not matter at all. The account itself doesn't matter if it's an iCloud account or the email that you put in as your iCloud account name is the one that you had active at that point in your life. It doesn't matter
Okay,
that it's changed and that you're not using that account anymore. It's still your iCloud account because that's the name
so
it had.
confusing
It's
to
been
me.
assigned, and I know that one's a weird one. Instead of assigning you a number that you'll forget, they assigned you the email that you gave them, and so you remembered it. But years later, we don't have that email anymore. It is confusing, but it doesn't matter if that email isn't working anymore. It's still the name of your
Thank
your
you.
account. Okay. All right. What's the time? Can anyone help me here? What will 15 minutes be? Be back at what?
2:58.
2:58.
I think so.
Oh, 50, 53 or 58? 2. No, what is it really? 55 p.m. Is that right? I'm just, I didn't even write anyone. I just wrote 5.
It's
So it doesn't, it's
2:38.
not one nor the other. Edit 58. 55, guys. I don't know. I'm asking you guys to tell me.
Mm,
Okay, well then, we're gonna be seeing you at 2:55 p.m. Okay.
Thank you, Deanna. I'm leaving. Thank you very much.
I'm in a class.
That's not good. I know Phil had to go, but I didn't know Rod had to go. Can you guys hear me at home? I'm in the back in the closet grabbing.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I have to open the closet. I was given some new keyboards that I'm having to charge. All right. So I don't know where everyone else has gotten to. I'm here, and so is Gigi. They brought me some of the new keyboards, but they have to be charged before they're useful. So I'm just plugging them in. That's all. It'll take me a second.
Deanna,
Yeah.
that little tip that you were talking about with the mouse and using two different devices has been working on my computer and my iPad. If I have them close together.
Oh, that's great. Yes, it also works with the iPad, which is so cool because who knew you could use a mouse on an iPad, right?
Well, no, I'm not using a mouse. It's just my touchpad.
Oh, your touchpad is working. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
it does that because I kept thinking, where is my mouse? Where's my pointer? And then it was on my other device, and I thought, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, because it takes your device and uses it as an extension. It takes your iPad as an extension, which I knew iPads could do that. I was surprised that two different computers, completely different computer, because the iPad is connected through iCloud through your computer. So it was like an extension. They used to call it like a cable, how did you call it? Those cars, it had a name. You know how motorcycles had the little scooter, they had a name. Anyway, they used to call it that you could attach your laptop. Now it just automatically, it's the same iCloud account. It just knows. But I didn't know that it would work from computer to computer with monitors completely attached to that computer. That's what surprised me. And I had seen it first here, the first time that I was working on one of these mice, and then my laptop would go from a school computer to my personal computer. I'm like, how is that happening? And that's yep. I am a student. I'm taking art classes now. I'm taking jewelry, which eons ago I took jewelry. I made these my wedding rings, and I've been married now for and I've been married for 33 years or something. No, it's just a simple band. I know, yeah, because my husband's like, I don't know, what if I made them? I was already taking jewelry classes, so I went ahead and said, I'm going to do it in gold. And the teacher was like, gold? No, you don't know how to yet. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make it anyway. So I'm taking jewelry classes again, and then I'm also taking some art classes on Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm being very busy. Actually, yeah, never thought of it. After 30 something, I don't know. I never understood the renewing wedding vows thing, but maybe I just never got. We're still here. I mean, we're still doing it. Okay, guys. Any questions that came up during the break? I'm clearing your feedback. Yes, what's your question?
When I took your class on Zoom in the past, I had two computers, but am I gonna be okay?
Well, go ahead and sign in. That's what I was trying to do here with Maud. The day I did it once and then she had to leave. I wanted you guys here to practice what it would be like. So go ahead on your computer on this one. This is what you'll have at home. So go ahead and try, connect to Zoom with the email, go to the email, connect to Zoom, and then test what it would be like to have me in the corner while you work at the same time, because that's what it'll be like at home.
I took two of your classes.
But you said you had two computers. Now you don't.
So now I don't.
So try it with just this one. Yeah. In your one computer, if you're home on Wednesday, you would have to go to the email, click on the link, and I'd show up, and then you'd have to move me to one side and then we'll work on the computer.
But
do you have an iPad? No.
I I do, but it's so old too that I don't know if it'll update or.
If
even
it's
go
old iPads still work for Zoom, so try that first.
try.
Try that first, but otherwise connect now to go to the email and connect to the Zoom. Just don't say yes to the sound. And if you say yes, we'll have to disconnect it because that'll be a problem with our sounds and that'll work.
Do you think old ones will, because my old computer is a 2011, and yours is a 2012, so you did better than me because mine completely won't even charge when I plug it in. I tried to look for battery updates. I called Apple. There are no batteries and there are no updates, so it's dead. I really, I plug it in, it won't even.
Yeah,
be
I
on
have a laptop that someone gave my son that was a bit newer than mine and it's not working either. So I don't know how they treated you or not. Mine's still working, but the one they gave him wasn't working anymore. So I'm not going to say that it will work, but that's, we're talking eons in computer life.
The iLife or level 2.
Level 2 today's class because it's happening right now. So you guys, I'm looking right now for a second. So while you're, here we go. I'm looking for the schedule. I told you guys that I was going to share. Okay, so since you probably connected with sound, let me say okay to that. And then do not. So say no.
Oh, yeah, and I'll
it
just
doesn't
stay on
give you
there.
the
That's what you're
doesn't
saying.
give you the
Showing my
choice.
audio,
That's interesting.
but maybe, but now here it would be.
Yeah, you'll have to come. I thought it was
So,
okay. I guess you're gonna have to say yes to that. It used to be that you could say no. Could
I know,
skip,
I
but you don't have
agree.
a skip. Okay, so say join.
and then
And
turn
then
it off.
here, go. Not just turn it off. Go to that
Yeah.
arrow.
This arrow?
Yeah, and then say leave computer audio.
Oh,
It's not the same as muting. It's completely
Ah.
turning off the feature. Okay. All right. So now grab that window and move me sideways a bit so you'll be able to see when I share. Yeah, because now when
Just you or the whole
no,
thing?
the whole window, make it be smaller. So grab the window from the bottom.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, click from a corner just like you would. Yeah,
Oh.
and make it smaller so that you can still. And this you can close. You don't need this anymore. The zoom thing. Click, click, just click, just click, close it. Okay, and you can click and close that too. Because all these open up.
And are you gonna be in the background?
Yeah. So now I'll be here. Close that. And so then I'll be here and you'll have to open your photos up and you'll have to see it through that. So you'll have to make it a balance between how big you see it or not. Now I'm going to share my screen. And when I share my screen, it might fill up again. So guys, I'm about to share my screen, which will also help for, I'm just helping Josie figure out because at home before she has joined us in class before with 2 computers, but now she only has 1. So the question is how to, handle as you guys are doing already. Now I'm about to share my screen to show you guys the class schedule. And so now, see, you're gonna have to make that as big as you can to see my example while you also work on. So here's the Living the iLife. I have, I haven't forgot to reach out to Emma during the break. See if I can reach out and ask her to go. But if this is the one that's starting on Wednesday. Yeah. But I also wanted to say that there's a couple of other classes coming up later. So the one that I thought you guys might be interested in is this one called Introduction to Handheld Devices. It's 2 meetings, December 1st and December 8th. So it's Monday, Wednesday. It's 2 meetings? No, that one's a few more meetings. Sorry, that's 3 meetings or 4 meetings. I think it's 3 meetings. 12/01 December. So here, let me go over to December 1st. It's 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's what confused me. I've never had a 3 meeting class. It's a 3 meeting class, which I don't know why it's not shorter 4 meetings. It's 3 meetings. 1 to 4:15, and that starts when iLife ends. So when iLife ends, then we have 1, 2, 3 more meetings at the same time, Monday, Wednesday, Monday. which is Intro to Handheld Devices. Oh, okay. So if anyone's interested in that one, the CRN for that one, and I have 19 people in there, so there's plenty of space to sign up for that one. Where's the Zoom chat? Here's the chat. Handheld devices, CRN. Oh, that's not, I didn't copy the right CRN. What did I just say? 45597. Devices. After the iLife class ends. Monday and Wednesday, 3 meetings, December 1st to December 8th. All right, so here's that. Okay. Now this one says it's in person. See how it says Wake 03? For some reason they didn't set this one up as a HyFlex class. It's not Zoom, but I will talk to them, and if they can't set it up officially, that's still, if you sign up for it and tell me that you signed up for it, but you can only attend from home, then I'll be here in class with whoever comes in person, and then I will turn on a Zoom for you guys to see it from home if anyone lets me know that. Otherwise, it'll just be in person. So there are 19 people signed up to it, which I assume want to be in person, but I'm not sure whenever a class is signed up from so long ago, whether they end up showing up, right? So, and then the other one, which is at the same time, December 5th to December 12th, is Create Compelling Content. That's a Friday, 9 to 1 p.m. And that's interesting because I'm going to teach it a bit differently this time, because it's about using the internet for finding materials for if you're trying to create something. Maybe you're volunteering for someone, you're having to put flyers together, you're trying to put a book together for your family, a calendar, whatever projects you're trying to get on. Where do you get the materials? Where do you do that? But I'm going to be incorporating much more material that now you can get with AI and information, that just stuff that I'm bringing in that's new, because there's so much more now. And again, I'm kind of hesitant because of how much do you want to do stuff that you don't create? But on the other hand, it's kind of also the way things are going. So it's not going to say you're going to invent a photo and say I took it. But yes, can you make a flyer with just very little information and just suddenly have a really nice flyer made? Yes, you can. So that kind of thing, right? I lost my cat. What do I make a flyer? I'll just write a note. Well, no, you can put it on your computer and add your photo in there. That can be done easily. Okay. So I just thought I'd add that those are still coming up, the handheld devices and the compelling content. Okay. The compelling content is CRN 45582, and it's Friday 9 to 1, and that's 2 meetings on December 5th and December 12th. That's just 2 meetings. Okay, so if anyone's interested in any of that, you want to ask me more questions, please let me know. That one, I need a lot of people. That one I only have 9 people in. So if you're questioning, just sign up. And then you can come maybe to one of them, or same thing with the fact that it's online. It's in person, but I'm happy to extend it to being online. And that one I need people for. So just go for it. Okay.
What
right.
one was that, Diane? I'm sorry.
What's that? Create compelling content.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
And I put the stuff in the chat. Okay. 45582 is a CRN. All right. To charge what? Yeah, actually I do. I do have Oh, you need one of the, here, it's charging my, here. But this I really need back because it's the only thing that charges my thing. Here, let me,
I didn't know it's so low.
it's the only one of those that I have here. But I don't need it right now because that was charging my touchpad. I don't know if you guys knew that you can buy, for those of you who have desktops, you can buy a touchpad kind of thing. For those of you who like touchpads for your desktop, for anyone's wondering. I have one of these on my desktop at home because I like sliding sideways with it while the other hand has the mouse. I just do both. I'm like, I just do like this. Anyway, that's just how I do it. Okay. But some of you guys don't like mice, and instead of a laptop, you want to buy a Mac Mini, for example, and you might worry that you won't get the touchpad. Well, you can buy a touchpad instead of a mouse. You know what I mean? Just saying, for those of you who have always had a laptop and now are considering the Mac Mini, which is what I bought at home. I bought a Mac Mini, and it's wonderful. It's actually really powerful, much cheaper. But I had monitors before, so it's not like I needed to buy an extra monitor, so it turned out really well. And when I need a laptop, the school laptop is available, so I'm going to use that one. All right, so no other questions, it seems, from anyone. So I'm going to share my screen again. And all right, so we just covered the calendar on the computer and the reminders on the computer. Okay, and then we saw how a reminder gets put into the calendar, how a reminder can have a map, which is the one that I put one of these reminders had Emma, didn't I say Wake Campus? So I clicked on that, and it had, when I first made it, it brought up a map. Was it this one? Yeah. But that one, no, it showed a map when I made it over here, when I made the reminder. New reminder, and I put a location, and I said Wake Campus. It showed a map right there. Okay, that's when it showed a map. I knew it showed a map. Okay. But now when I go double click on it, show current reminder, there's the map again. If I click on it, because this is different. It's not like an event that I have to go there. It's just a reminder that when I arrive here, it's reminding me, okay, so this map doesn't need to be clickable or whatever, because it'll trigger a reminder to come in. So when I say trigger a reminder or an alarm or an event, let's talk about the differences between those, and then let's go see this on the phone. So say that I just wrote lunch, right? 11 to whenever we're gonna have lunchtime. I guess on Wednesday the 5th, I'm having lunch with someone. So everyone just make some, and again, I'm gonna, more than lunch, I'm gonna have something that's really fake, like what we said last week, go to the Everest or whatever, climb the Everest. The reason I want to do that is because I wanted to show you the reminders and the alerts and stuff like that, and how they show up for you as opposed to an alarm. On the phone, you can set up an alarm. On the computer, you can't set up alarms. What you can set up is reminders, alerts, or event alerts. Okay, so an alert is good, but it's not as good as an alarm unless you're good at looking at your calendar. And so we can set up an alert for a reminder or for an event. So say that I want to be alerted that this is happening at 11 a.m. I can put one alert 5 minutes before the event, which I find kind of useless, because 5 minutes before, you know, if I have to go somewhere, but actually that's not true. For when I teach from home, I have one that says 5 minutes, like, okay, get to that computer if you're not there yet, right? So for something like that, it works. Or, you know, bake cake or put it in the oven, something like that. But I can click on the plus sign right next to add another one for an hour before, which is okay. That gives me a bit more breathing room. So, but as long as I'm on the computer, I can keep adding alerts. I can say, well, also let me know 1 day before. So I can keep going. I can get 1, 2 days before, like I can put another one for 30 minutes before, like I can keep adding alert, alert, alert. Like I can put as many alerts as I want on the computer. On the phone, you can only put 2 alerts. So there's slight difference in how that works, not by much, but on the phone, you can keep adding alerts. I showed you how an alert could also be send me an email. You would go to custom and you would ask me, send me an email. Right? And over here, I stopped it last time when I stopped to show you this, because in order for this one to work, you need to have your own card and email address in here. So yourself, because it'll send an email to yourself. And I don't have myself in the school computer with my personal information. But if I go into open contacts and say that who I am is SPCC Business Services, let's see if it pays attention to that. I'm going to tell them that I'm this person. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Because I'm not the owner. The owner of this computer is SPCC. So, but you could set that up. Like I do that to myself when I need something to be emailed. Like if something is really important, I have asked for an email, because I do check my emails every morning. Eons later, I still don't check my calendar every morning, however much I should, because I know what I have to do today. Problem is, if there was something weird, like go to the dentist and I didn't check, good thing that I alerted myself the day before, or I sent myself an email the day before, because I do check my email, right? So depending on what kind of person you are, you're like, oh, my husband rolls his eyes, versus me, I'm like, no, 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 I needed that. I'm glad I got it, right? So as many as you want on the computer. You could also add an invitee. So say that I want someone else to climb the Everest with me. Or if I'm inviting someone to lunch with me, or for example, my husband and I have these things we do together, and did you get the message that he's the organized one by all these stories? He's the organized one. So what he does is he will, I forgot to make this bigger for you guys again, sorry. So he'll set up appointments like this when we need to do something in particular. We've agreed that we'll meet at 2 p.m. to clean out the garage. All right. Can you see my face? I'll be like, doo-doo-doo-doo, it's Saturday. And then my alarm will go off. It's like, ooh, 2 p.m. Oh, great. Clean out the garage. You wanted the renewal of what? No. Fortunately, you have to balance each other out. So that's what he provides to the relationship. He provides a lot more. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. But he does this. He creates the clean out the garage, and then he invites me, right? So I get the invitation. Yeah. So how do you add an invitee? You would put in, so again, Jane, I seem to be inviting Jane Doe to everything today. I'm going to invite Jane Doe. So when I say send, Jane Doe is going to get 2 things: an email in their computer saying, clean the garage at 2 p.m. Or in my case, I'm inviting her to climb the Everest, which is much more fun. But see how I have a little person-y thingy here? I don't know if you can tell. It's so tiny, but right next to the person, there's a question mark. That's because I've invited them, but I don't have a response yet, right? See how there's a question mark there? When they respond and they say yes, they can say yes. They can say accept, decline, or maybe. This will change, and here it'll either say check mark yes, or it'll have an X that says no, or it'll have, I don't know what the issue is. Maybe it thinks it stays in question mark for maybe. So I'll know if they got it, or if they're maybe attending, or if they're not. So maybe it's book club, and you send out an invite to your book club friends instead of just an email. You set this up and you invite your book club group, right? So if I say book club, remember that we made in the contacts, we had made a group called book club. No, but in the book, remember in the book club, I had in the contacts, I had a group here called book club, right? or something like that. I had another one. Here's another one. I have had so many book club. So then those people get invited. Okay. I'm going to revert that because I'm going to invite those people, but then you send that and those people all get the email. And if they say yes, that appointment pops up in their calendar so that there you go. The appointment pops in and it's one of these that you get that these people invited you. And when I say maybe decline or accept, it pops into my calendar. That way our Climb Everest is going to pop into their calendars or book club or whatever. Does that make sense? So, but it's not like, it's not invasive. It's not going to appear like you can say no, forget, delete, or in the email itself, you can just receive and say no. But you don't like reply, I can't make it. You actually click on a button that says accept, decline. It's very informal. It's just like ding, 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 you know? I mean, you can reply back and go, oh, can we move this? I'm so sorry, I can't make it. You just go accept, decline, maybe, you know? And then over here, I'll look, okay, how many are coming to my book collector? It looks like out of the 10 people, only 3 are going to make it. Okay, great. These 3 are going to make this much snack or whatever you're going to make for the book club. Okay. So that's how you would make an appointment and invite someone. Okay. Now, so again, how these apps are all combining and joining and everything. So I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to actually share my phone again. Is any question popping up? No hands yet? So let me share my phone. And one thing that doesn't share itself, and I just, when I touched a second ago, see here how this says, I don't want to go into it yet, how it says finish design. Guess what? That's the alert. Remember the word finish design? That's my reminders icon. This came from the reminders. Remember that we had the reminders that said, oh, I clicked on it. I wasn't home. There it is. It was the 3, I said at 3 p.m. Finished design project. And that was the alert. That I just showed you, that was the alert popping up on my phone. Does that make sense? And now if I close my phone again and turn it on again, there it is. See, 23 minutes ago, finished design. And I have another one, but from my calendar this time, that is telling me that my my calendar 5 to 8:45 digital design techniques, which is the class I have following this one. Okay, so those are the 2 reminders. That's where an alert appears. Now I've already clicked on the other one. Since I already saw it, it's disappeared. But this one, even though I saw it, I didn't check it off. So this one sits there because I haven't checked it off yet. Does that make sense? But if I had checked it off, then that's going to disappear. Does that make sense, you guys? On the computer, those alerts pop in as a little banner on the side of my screen, top right of my screen. Have you ever seen one of those little tiny things that look like that, but that appear on the right side of your screen? That's an alert. And unfortunately, Zoom, trying to preserve privacy, when I get an alert, it, like I have my design class starting today, doesn't let me share that. So I can't share it to you. But the same kind of banner that says this appears on the top right of your computer screen. And it says, reminder, whatever the reminder might be. And in this case, I have to look at my phone for it to, it'll say finish design, okay? Or class starting at whatever. So that's the way an alert pops up. So that's great, but it's not very intrusive. If I'm using my phone, if I'm in the middle of using it, the alert doesn't show up. The alert shows up in that lock screen. See, if I'm in the middle of using it, it could be 3 p.m. Nothing's going to pop in. Does that make sense? So it's when I turn the phone off and start it again, that's where that alert appears. Okay? But once I'm in my phone, once I click in to get into my phone, the alert is gone. The place for those alerts is that lock screen. Got it, you guys? So on the computer, the place for that alert is the top right corner of my computer. And if it's one of those alerts that's considered temporary, it shows itself for, I don't know, 5-10 seconds, and then it goes away. And if you weren't looking, it's gone. So that's why these calendar alerts, these reminder alerts are a little bit iffy. So you can choose what kind of alerts you want. And I showed you at the beginning of the session, I took you to the notifications app in the computer, I told you notifications, where you choose what kind of alert you want. I showed it to you on your computer. Let me show it to you on, I'm going to go back to it if you need a reminder, but I'm going to show it to you on the phone now. Okay. So if I wanted that alert to stay or go away or to be repetitive, I'm going to get over to my settings. So everyone open your phones and open your settings. Sorry. And I'm going to scroll down to notifications. And this is the same thing we would have done on the computer. We would have gone to notifications on the system settings on your computer. Okay. I'm going to click on settings, notifications. Give me a yes once you get there so that I can make sure that everyone's in the right spot. Yep, you got it. Gigi, you found it. Josie, you found it. Okay. And meanwhile, open the notifications in your settings on their computer as well, so you can see them both at the same time yourself. I can't share both at the same time, but you guys can be seeing it on your phone and your computer. Okay, so basically, it's showing me what kind of notifications I can have, count, stack, or list. Okay, so they can all pop one after the other, or they can all be stacked when they come from the same thing. Like if I have 3 events from my calendar, I can have them all stacked together as one little line. Or I can have them each appear. So this one could say Mac class and iLife class and walk the dog. They're all from the calendar separately, or they can appear over here with a little number 3. So I know that when I touch that little spot, they open up into 3, right? So I'll still see all 3, but I need to click on it to open up into 3. And if you have many notifications from any apps, that helps not have this very busy screen. So then over here, you go to which app you're asking them to show you what kind of alerts you want. So I'm going to head all the way down to the calendar here, and then the reminder. So here, calendar was the 3rd one. It's ABC. So I'm going to go to the calendar. And what kind of notifications do I want? First of all, I'm going to allow notifications, because if you say don't allow, then the calendar will, even though you put in an alert in your calendar, you're not allowing the notification to arrive. So it's not going to work, right? So we need to hit allow notifications. Then time sensitive ones are always delivered immediately. And I'm going to show you what immediately means, and remain on the lock screen for an hour. So immediately means when they're supposed to be delivered, they delivered. There's other stuff that it pays attention. If you said do not disturb or things like that, then it won't disturb you. But in this case, if you put a time to it, it's going to assume that you need to know. So it's going to be on your lock screen, and it's going to sit there for a whole hour. So the one that we got that said 3 p.m., it's going to be there until 4 p.m. And that's why it's still sitting there. Yeah. Now, I can tell it that I want it to be in only the lock screen, or only the notification, or only the banner. If I do only the banner, that's equivalent to saying don't alert me. So I could just have only in the notification center, which is useless. I never go to the notification center to see if I have a notification. So that one doesn't work. Lock screen is the one that works for me. But just in case, I'll leave that one on, or a banner which appears at the top versus at the bottom. It's just different ways of choosing. I want to be notified every which way possible in case I'm not looking one way or another. Now, do you want the banner to be temporary? That banner that's temporary, that's the one that pops in and stays for like, I don't know, 3 seconds and goes away. So for me, if it's from the calendar, if I say persistent instead of temporary, right? Then what persistent is going to be like, it's going to be there, and it won't go away until I tell it to either snooze, remind me in 5 minutes, I'm busy, or done, I got it, right? Versus temporary, it just slides in, hopes I've seen it, and goes away. So I'm definitely going to go with persistent, right? It can have a sound, it can go ping, or it can have no sound if you're the kind of person who likes to focus and you don't want to be interrupted, or if it's the other way around, you're focusing so much that you want to have a ping, you leave a cord. But if you're in a meeting, the last thing you want is your phone to be going ping, 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 right? So maybe you're the person who doesn't want the sound, but you can look to the right and go, ooh, there's that thing's coming up next. And then you can apologize, gotta go. It's up to you what you choose, right? The badges are, remember, what's a badge? The colored circle. Some people hate seeing 11 on something. Oh, I have 11 emails I need to go check, and they prefer not to have them. And others are like, oh, I have 11 emails, I better go check, or 11 texts, or 11 messages, or 11 calendar, whatever, right? So I like the badges. Some people hate them. Turn them on or off from here. Show on the Mac. So do I want this same notification to also pop in on the Mac? Yeah, of course, because what if I'm working and I'm not on my phone? Or what if I'm on the phone and not working? So when I'm in the computer, I make sure to have it also show on my phone. You know what I mean? But right now I'm showing you from the phone, so it says show on the Mac. Okay. So that's it. Now, if you want some more customization, you can go over here, customize, and then do you not have, so shared calendar changes every now and then. My husband's like, oh, we can't do it at 2, let's do it at 3. So he'll go change it. I'm going to be notified. The person who invited you to this thing changed it from 2 to 3. Okay, 1 more hour of freedom. Right, there you go. And then we go back to organizing the thing. Okay, so now do I want to be, for example, notified that if I invited 8 people, do I want to get a ding every time someone agrees? Oh, Carol said, yep. Gigi said, yep. Josie said, maybe. I would receive a little banner about each one. If I don't care, it's in the customized notifications at the very bottom. What phone do you have? Yeah, no, that's fine. Under, because it could be, let me see, it could be that on my, this one's an old phone. Let me see on my newer phone, because sometimes, no, this is, let me see if notifications has changed in the newer phones. Let me go to, we're in the calendar, right? I do have this customized notifications on my newer one too, so, oh, you're in a Google Calendar. The problem with Google Calendar is Google accepts different things than so I took you to the calendar app, not to, this is the calendar app that I've been teaching you. So if you use the Mac calendar app, that's the one. Okay. Customized notifications. You were in Google. Anything that has to do with Google has different rules. It's whatever their company can provide. Their company doesn't provide that. Yeah. And you don't have to, I'm just saying, if you use it, then these are the features. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On my phone, it doesn't show on Mac. It says show in CarPlay.
CarPlay is when you're driving, and
Right.
because the whole point is that when you're driving, the idea is to not send you messages so that you don't get distracted. So you could have said, you could have a don't show me when I'm driving, and when I stop, then it shows up and that kind of. So when you're in CarPlay mode, your phone can tell you're driving, then it doesn't notify you, send you text, everything. It just waits until you stop. Then it sends.
I understand that. How do I get it to show on Mac?
I don't know. Are you using this app on your Mac? Because I don't know why it is or isn't showing you that option. All these options, when somebody has or doesn't have it, it really has something to do with, here we go. I'm going to my other computer. Yeah, it's in my other, I'm showing in on this phone, which is my newer one, it says show in CarPlay and show on Mac. I have both choices on my personal phone. So it all depends, I guess, on what phone you have, what settings you have. I don't know. As long as you have your calendar turned on and you're looking at the right calendar app and not like Gigi was looking at her Google Calendar, for example, of the Google Calendar has different choices. So I don't know what to say. I'm going to go over to the reminders now. Here's my reminders. Okay, so that's the two things that we've been looking at today, reminders. And now same thing. What kind of sets and choices? Look, under reminders, I don't have the customized notifications. So now I'm under reminders. So I left calendar notifications on the school phone. It's a 10. It's an iPhone 10. For the most part, it's about what operating system the thing is running. But some things say that I'm running the same operating system that my iPhone 15, which is my personal phone, is a 15. This is a 10. Say that we have this. We have the same operating system running on both. But there's a few features that just my iPhone 10 doesn't do, so they don't show. Even if it's the same operating system, they just don't show up. Versus they do show up on my iPhone 15. Versus yesterday when I installed some stuff on the Tahoe, it said that it's going to show up. You can do it on iPhone 16 and 17, but not on the 15. So already my 15 has things that are possible for phones to do that mine can't do. It's 2 years old. They keep advancing, and if you're, the phone is still a wonderful phone. At some point, I'm going to want more of what's possible, and I'll change the phone. But if not, I'm happy to have the phone that I have, and it works just fine. Other than me, I have to say, because of what I teach and being a photographer, I keep getting every 3 years or so, I update my phone. But the rest of my family is on 6s, 7s, 8. It's fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, what's the point? I think the newest one, my son's phone the other day, it died and he got a 10. So if you get no, he actually upgraded to a 12. But it cost him like $100 and so versus, bazillions of dollars. He just went and bought a secondhand 12 from someone. And for $100, he has a great phone. I mean, it's like you don't need to spend bazillions of dollars for the newest thing if it does most of what you need it to do. Now, there's a feature that becomes tremendously important to you. Well, then that's worthwhile paying the money. Go for it. Otherwise, no real need. I'm never going to say update just because the new one came out. But some people are like, the new one's out. Let's change. It's fine with that. You do whatever. You do you. Okay. Okay. So now in reminders, I made sure to have also the persistent sound and previews and da 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 da. So now I'm out, and you can keep going through all the different apps that you have and see what kind of mail and message. Like in mail, I have a temporary banner. It's not so important to me to notice that I have so many emails. Can you imagine if every time I receive an email, I had a permanent banner? So I have a temporary one that just pops in and goes, and it doesn't make sound because I would go crazy if I had a bing, bing, bing every time I got a mail. So you just make those decisions. Does that make sense? Okay. That's it. Now let's open the reminders app on the phone. Or no, let's first make a reminder on the calendar, since that's how we did it on the phone, on the computer. Let's go to calendar. And on the phone, the calendar shows up differently for many different people. So let's talk about how to see it. Right now, I have it in week mode, in day mode. And I know that tends to be an issue as to how to see things. So actually, for some reason, this class doesn't start till November 5th. For some reason, it's appearing as if it starts today. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, for today, I had the iLife starting today, and that's why I had 2 things right now in the morning. So I just told it, no, you don't start till the 5th. So that was just a mistake on how it was set up. And now I have 2 of those. Anyway. Let me delete this one. Sorry, it's just that it's going to drive me crazy if I have a double. Okay. All right. So how am I doing this? I'm looking at, let me just hit down here, the word today. click on today. So you can always go to today. And now I have all these different choices of how I want to look at my screen. And the way I'm looking at it right now is in day mode. So as you can see, I'm just saying Monday, November 3rd, and I go up and down and I see November 3rd, but you could be looking at it in week and month and whatever. Let me just show you down here at the bottom that I have the choice of calendars. I click on calendars. It's showing me all my different, remember that I had all these different work, home, family, exercise that we saw on the computer, but there's no need to see them. I'm just showing you where you would see them. Done. Okay, they are there. Oh, I didn't show you on my computer. I have an inbox. What do you mean an inbox on your calendars? I didn't show it to you on your computers. These are invitations, precisely. So if I click on my inbox, these are the invitations that I have received that I haven't done either accept, decline, or not. So remember all those invitations I have from school that I haven't, that I see those lines? Those are invitations that I haven't done anything. If I said maybe, decline, or accept, they wouldn't be here anymore. But I have 5 hanging ons. Now, those are the new ones. How about the ones I've replied to already? So I can go over up here, see at the top where it says either new or replied. Then these are ones that I have already replied to. Okay. And I've said yes, no, or maybe. And I think they show you from, I don't know how far behind they go. So there we go. Now, when I'm done seeing them, I don't want to reply to any of them right now. So I'm going to say done. That's what the inbox is and why it has a number 5. Okay. Now, on my phone, up here, it tells me it's November 3rd and that I am seeing this in 1 day at a time. This is if I want to search something, and this was to create a new event. Now, what do you mean by 1 day at a time? I'm going to click on that little guy, and it's telling me that I could be seeing this as a multi-day option, which is what I've begun to adopt in my real life. I've begun to like that. I'm still not accustomed to it completely, but I say multi-day. And see how I'm seeing 2 days? I'm seeing today and tomorrow. So given my need to organize myself by doing this, I'll be like, oh, I have something at 9 tomorrow. I have to be ready for that. So my walk, it's going to overlap. I won't be able to walk, or I will. This is just to prepare for that meeting. Maybe I can walk. Can I shower in between I go to? I don't think so. But it lets me plan tonight, right? By doing that. So that was just up here, the multi-day. And then list would be, instead of showing me the calendars, just show today. I have, these are the things that I have today. The finished design, Ask Emma and Post Office are 3 reminders that we just created. There's an appointment that was a class, and that's the other coin. And then I have a walk the dog. And I move on to tomorrow. Election day, choose Illustrator, walk, EC meeting, take kids to park, which is what we just did today. Araceli, and then go to, so you can go up and down that way. Are you guys hearing me? I can make it a weird noise. Can you guys hear me at home? Yeah. Mic again to give me some feedback. Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So then when I'm kind of lost at where I am, I can always go down to the word today and click, and it takes me back. Now, let me just, and then it takes me back to today. So that's the as list view or the single day view. Okay. So that's then one way. Now, if I wanted to see the entire week, I'm going to go back to single day view. I want to see the entire week. The only way to do that is to tilt your phone sideways. And then you can see, and it's hard here in sharing. Then you can see go up to the top to say week. And now I'm seeing it like I'm seeing it in the computer, which is by week. And I've never used this on the phone. It's just I don't know. It's just too much. Plus the all day, it's taking up half of my screen. Like all of this is taking up so much of my screen that I'm not starting to see today's appointments until about there, which is so uncomfortable. A few times I've needed to see the week ahead, and I've done that, but for the most part I don't. So I'm going to just straighten it out again. So I prefer being in this mode to have it on 2 days, and then if I need to see Wednesday and Thursday, then I just click up here on Thursday, right? And I'm seeing Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm seeing Tuesday. So that is how I do it. That sideways view is really uncomfortable. Hi, Justine. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
All right. So now, so that's the front day. Now, how about if I want to see this in a different mode? If I head over down to November at the top, now I'm seeing this in months, right? Which it's great, but other than these cute little colors, I don't see what's happening. But it helps if suddenly I need to go check quickly on, December 18th. So I switch to month, and now I click on December 18th, and then it opens up in December 18th. That makes sense? So that's it. So when I'm like, someone says, what are you doing in June? I'm like, I'm not going to go day by day all the way to June. So I hit the month back there, and then I just quickly go all the way up to June, July, next month. There we go. July what? July 17th. You wanted to see July 17th? There we go. July 17th. Oh, looks like I don't have anything. Or June. Does that make sense? I quickly made it to June 26th. So if you back out and can look at that, because I don't know, May 12th, there we go. So it's just when you get into the month, you can't see much, but it gives you access to then click on that day and see what's happening that day. Okay. Then when you're done and you want to go back, you just go to the today word, boom, and you're back to today. Okay. Any other mode or view in which you guys found yourselves that is a bit different than this that you want to know about? No? Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the plus sign. And let's add an event or a reminder. See that? I can choose an event or I can choose a reminder. So just like we did in the computer, let's start with an event, and let's say that we are all going to take the iLife class. Some of you guys will, so you can just do this for real, and some of you guys are not taking it, then just invent. So let's write iLife class, because it's a multi, yeah, you can dictate it. And then over here, you might want to say whether you have a Zoom link that you got in an email, you can just paste it in here. Okay, so how would you do that? Well, you would push this up out of the way. You would go to your mail app, right? Go to your mail app and you'd look. Those of you who are in my iLife class, I already sent you an email, but I only was able to send it to your pipeline email addresses. Emma, just now, 3:38 p.m., sent me the list with your personal email addresses. So after class today, I will send the same invitation to your personal emails. But if you look at your pipeline email, you have, those of you who are taking that class, you received already an invitation to go. So you would click on that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a different, right now I didn't send the invitation to myself, but I do have an email for blah, 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 blah. Did I? No, I didn't. So here I have a Zoom link to another thing. So I have a Zoom link in here. So I'm going to go to my email. Do I have? No. Shoot, I'm just looking for a Zoom link. For goodness sake. Here. This is someone I sent the Digital Sign Techniques Zoom link today. So I'm going to put this one in. So I'm just going to click and hold on this link and say copy link. This is in my email, right? So I'm copying the link that I just sent to myself. I don't find the iLife one, it doesn't matter. So this is what you would go to the email that I sent you, copy that link, right? And I did it by holding down, and then the choice copy link comes up, okay? So then I go back to my email and I go over here under location iLife class. I can say I'm gonna attend on Zoom. I click in there and I paste, click one more time, and I say paste. So there it is. Now the spot is, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to say done. So see how there's a Zoom link in it right now? So you don't have to depend on my email every time, because I put the link that I got once in my calendar. Now I'm going to say this class is going to be on, I believe, starting Wednesday. And I think it starts at 1 p.m. Okay. And by default, this is always going to think everything is 1 hour long, but no, it doesn't end at 2 p.m. It ends at, I believe, 4:45 p.m. All right. Travel time, none, because I'll be teaching from home. Repeat. Yeah. Repeat every week. Is that going to work? Why? Because that's only going to give me every Wednesday. So instead, what do I do? Yeah, I have to go to custom. Okay. There's no choice here for twice a week on which days. It's under custom. So click on custom. And it's not going to be daily. It's going to be weekly, every Wednesday and Monday. Okay. Does that make sense? No? Yeah, one for Mondays, one for Wednesdays. Yeah. So that's how you make it. It's a weekly, Monday, Wednesday. So then I back out of there. And when do I end it? Right? And maybe you already know from your calendar, or sometimes in the email I write it, but I do remember it ends on November 24th. So when do I end the repeat? On a certain date, and I choose that date. And it's going to be November 24th is the last day of that class. Okay, so now I have an appointment, and it's going to be iLife class. Here's the link. I just need to do it when I get to that time of day. I get to my calendar, I open my calendar, and I just click. Literally, I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, and it's 1 to 4:45 p.m. I don't need to travel. Maybe you guys don't need to travel to get to your computer. You're coming from somewhere else, so you do need travel time. Who knows? Repeat every week, Monday, Wednesday, ending on November 24th. Calendar, since I have my real one in the pipeline already, I'm just going to leave this one as home so it appears in a different color. I need to delete it because I already have it. I have thought of inviting you guys here, putting like your emails here. But yeah, I'd try that. Now, and good old alerts. I told you you're going to put in only 2 alerts in here. So I'm going to alert myself 30 minutes before. And I'm going to do one more alert an hour before. So an hour before 1 at 12, I'm going to get a reminder that there's a class today. Some of you guys might be preferred to remind it in the morning. I send your email in the morning, so that's what I would like, to open my email and go, oh, that's true, today's iLife. And then I just know that's happening. That's why I send it at 6 a.m. But I also need a reminder going, hey, 1 p.m. is happening in an hour. And then in case I got distracted, oh, 1 p.m. is happening in 30 minutes. Now, if you're not distracted like me, you might want it more like 2 hours ahead, or one reminder is enough, 5 minutes ahead of time. Again, I'm very aware that we're all different. Now, sometimes I might have a file that I want to have available for that class. There's nothing like that. But say that when I'm a meeting with someone, I might want to have a file that I need to show them during my Zoom meeting. I might add it there, et cetera, et cetera. I can make a note here what that class is all about. But right now, that's got all the information I need. So now I'm going to click on add. And so now if I go to Wednesday, there it is. That's the one that I just created. Okay. Okay, because, okay, so, let's edit it. Let me just show you what happened when you click on the class now. If you want to change something, you would go up at the top. Let's all edit it. Let's add something to it. Click on it and then hit the word edit. And when you said start and ends, and you said ends on November 24. And no, this ends is the same day. It starts at 1 p.m. and it ends at 4:45. Okay. The repeat is what ends on November 24. So go to the starts, and under the ends, go again and put November 5th. So she showed me her calendar where suddenly from today to November 25, all day long, she's in the iLife class. Poor you, poor me. So it's because she had it, this said starts and ends November 24th, but then every single minute of every single day of every day in between is that appointment. So this is the appointment. That one day is from on 11/5 to 11/5, from 1 to 4:45 p.m. Then you tell it to repeat, and it's the repetition that should end on November 24th. Okay? Yeah, because when you have something, you make a change. So I'm going to tell it, I'm going to change it to say that ends on November 25th, for example. And I say November 25th instead, which is the same because there's no Wednesday. And I say done because I've changed something. It'll say for all of the events or for all future events. You go, yeah, say for all of them. So now it should all work. Okay. And then if I go, so here I am Wednesday. If I want to see next Wednesday, I click on this 5 here and I just drag over and it takes me to the whole next week. Here I am on next week and there it is Wednesday again and it should be set up for Monday. Yep, there it is Monday, Wednesday. I'm going to flip to the next week. How do I do that? I just drag this over one. Shoo. It just always jumps 1 week from the 10th to the 17th to the 24th. And there it is. The class is over. Okay. And now that I've checked that it, well, let me see, is it over? Let me go to the 26th. Yeah, it's over. There's nothing for the 26th. Okay, 24th, it's still there and there's no more. So now I go back to today and there we go. Today is today. And on Friday, on Wednesday, that class begins. And say it's time for class. You go and sit at your computer or you're in the car because you could.
Diana? Diana?
We can't hear you.
She
There you go.
can,
Can you hear me now?
Diana,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused. While you were demonstrating it, why is it that, because today is only the 3rd of November,
Mhm.
why is it that you are already putting the 5th? Why did we not start on November 3 so that
Because the class doesn't start today. The class starts on the 5th.
but
So
today is iLife, is what we're doing iLife today, right?
no, today it's Mac level 2.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm a
That's
little
okay.
bit-
That's okay. No, but I had both in here. In fact, I don't know if you noticed, but I had both. So I had set it up wrong when I first set it up. Today is the last day of Mac level 2. I've never had this where it starts on an off week. It's kind of bizarre. So today is the last day of Mac level 2. And on Wednesday is the first day of living the iLife. And since I
Oh,
just set it up twice, right? Now I have the blue one that I just purposely made in the home calendar so we could see it. But this is my real one that I already had set up. And there it is. This is my one that I just set up. But see how it says iLife class Zoom 1:45 p.m. So say that I'm driving home and I'm not going to make it as a, not me, but you as an attendee. Well, you can always click on this and you can join. Yeah. Well, if you have good data. I wouldn't drive. I mean, say that you're stuck in traffic. Yeah. No, actually, I have attended. No, I have attended meetings that I just need to listen in, and I have my headsets on, and I'll just join, and the phone is on my side, but I don't. You don't. You know. Some. And I'm talking, and if they ask me questions, I can attend, and then when I make it home, I switch. I have had that happen to me. In fact, last week I was going for my art class, and they set up a meeting. My class finished at 4 and the meeting started at 4 and I'm like, guys, I need to drive home. So I joined. I put the phone on. I had headsets. I didn't look at the phone. The phone is sitting there. The class is joined. I'm on my headset, talking. When I got home, I ran in. Let me actually stop this share. I ran into my computer and I joined. I went to my calendar on my computer. Okay. and I double clicked and there it is again, join. Like when you set it up like that in the calendar, all you need to do is go to your calendar and join. You don't have to go to the link that I sent you that I didn't send you that I didn't. There it is. Click on join and it'll join you. Okay. But you need to go and get that link from the invitation and put it in there. Now there is a way for me to send you an invitation that just pops in there. Maybe I can try that. What's that? Yeah. So, right. And if I'm teaching right now, so I can't show you that. But if I were to click on this join, it's going to pop up Zoom and it's going to say join class. I'll say join class just like normal and sit there waiting for me to open the class. And in that case, then I went and turned it off from the phone and I kept attending the whole meeting ready to go in front of the computer. The paint splattered all over me, but they couldn't tell I was in my meeting. Okay. So that's the thing that when you have, so say that I were to say yes to this one. This one is an invitation, but see how where it says where West Campus, it doesn't say Zoom. And unfortunately, because I teach till 12:45, I was hoping I could attend this thing. I would be 15 minutes late because I teach till 12:45 that day, and this starts at 12:30. But if it were on Zoom, I could finish teaching, click on Zoom, and attend the meeting. But this one is not that way. So if it does, if I say accept or not accept, I would have to take my car, get in there, drive, get in. By then I'm an hour late. So anyway, I'm not attending, right? Because they have very few spots, and it's been given to someone who could attend the whole thing. This one, on the other hand, no, this one on the other hand is an AI ethics toolkit project info session. It's on Zoom. So this one I will attend, which by the way, there we go, accept. I just accepted. And I will join from my house or wherever I am at that point on Thursday at 4. Okay. I don't have to go back to the email I got sent with that information. Let me just get rid of Ask Emma for just that one. Oh, the reminders, you can't take one off like you can, like you can a calendar appointment. You have to go and edit it from the reminder. So here it is. So it's a half-hour meeting. I will join 4 to 4:30, and life is good. Okay. This is something that I need to do online, and she hasn't sent me the link yet. When she sends me the link, I'm gonna ask her today. Then I will put this in here, and when it's time, I will go and join her online. So I put all my links on the calendar, so I don't have to go find. Where was that link? I just put them in here in the calendar. Yes. Oh my God, of course. Oh, it's 4:04. The notes were so important. I stayed in reminders and calendar and I didn't go to no. I'm so sorry. Notes was such a biggie for me to show you today and I didn't. So glad you asked that. Yikes. Okay. Notes, guys. I spaced. I got remember I started by saying I'm going to show you notes and calendars and reminders, and I stayed on that. So notes, let's open the notes app. Notes for me is probably the app I use the most in my entire computer. So notes is a biggie for me. I forget post-it notes, forget any of that, you know. I need a reminder to teach notes. No, I even stated, you guys, today we're covering calendar reminders and notes, remind. And then I get into the weeds of it, showing you it on the phone and whatever, and I never got into notes. Thank you, Gigi. So here we are in notes. Now, again, notes might or not be showing you that third column. So you might be seeing that third column or not. It's the same that we had in the contacts, that we've had in the calendars. It's that little icon there that shows you or doesn't show you the third column. What's the third column? It's your accounts. It always is, right? So let's go ahead and notes. The account is very important because the notes are ridiculously versatile and flexible for the iCloud. But for Pipeline, it's just, you just write something on it. In put links, and that's all it is. So the Google Notes are very basic, so to say. It's just like a Post-it note where you write something in it. So if I go to any note that I have in my Pipeline account, I have something that I can write, and that's about it. But notice up here, everything is grayed out for formatting and for stuff. That said, I can put photos in it. So here's a photo I put into that note. But if you're in iCloud, then the notes are really flexible. So let's select your iCloud account. And now let's create a note. So over here, you click on this little guy to start a note, or you can go as usual to File, New Note, or I think there's one more place. Oh, Command N. Anyway, so I'm going to click on Make a New Note. Now notice that over here on the left side, a new note has been created at 4:06 p.m. And here we're going to call this one is New Note created in class to learn about the Notes app. So just so that later you know you can delete it. It's a title. Everything we just wrote appears in title font. Okay? So now we're going to click over here and hit return. And anything else that we write now, whatever else we write is appearing in, it's called body size font, because it's not the title anymore. The title has been created. Okay? So maybe the note will be Carol recommended to read, I don't know, give me oh, she recommended the Labyrinth, to go to the Labyrinth at UCSB. Okay, so that's just a note. Of course, I might have called it Labyrinth or something like that, and I might have written Carol recommended it or something like that. I could also have gone to my contact with Carol, and at the notes said she recommended Labyrinth, right? So later, whatever, there's so many places I can put notes related to people. But anyway, things to do. So it's typical that you say, I'm going to New York, and you know that you know someone, and you go, where should I go, right? So I have a note of New York, and she said, Carol said, Mary said, go to this. Josie said, what's that? Yeah, someone said if you go at 2 p.m., there's less people. You know how you take things. So where should I go? What time? Oh, this. I have notes of whenever I travel. I start telling people, oh, I'm going this place. What should I do? I have notes. Now I can have notes just like that, just things that I write. I could make lists. I could make tables. I could put in photos. I can make recordings. I can even make drawings. So let me just put a few of those things in here. First of all, let's make a list. So up here at the top, one choice is to click on the second choice, which is make a checklist. See how it has a little. So now I'm going to say bring shoes, water, snack, whatever, map. I'm just things I need to bring. Does that make sense? Each time that I write one, it becomes a list. Now, say that it's time to pack, and I go, okay, I got the water. So watch for a minute. Just watch me. I'm ready to pack. So I go, okay, I got the water. So I click on water. Boom, it goes to the bottom. I got the snacks. Okay, I click on snack. I didn't get my shoes or my map yet. Okay. Later, I'll grab my maps, and then at the last minute, I grab the shoes. Okay. So when you click on these things, they go down to the bottom of the heap. So now I got my map. Goes to the bottom. Shoes. So you can make grocery lists here. You can share this list with someone and have a grocery list, and you share it with your husband, and then you make the list and they see it, and as they buy it, they keep clicking on stuff and it goes down and it's gone, and then you see what they did. Oh, they didn't have water that day. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so that could you could make a checklist. Now the only thing about the checklist, let me just warn you, that they need to be in a row. So say that I didn't put anything there, and then I made another list here. I started a new list, and I said, I don't know, jacket and wallet, whatever, things to remember. Then these organize themselves amongst themselves, and this amongst themselves. So if this is supposed to be the same list, just make sure not to leave a space, a spot. That's all. But it could be that this was one list, like this was food, for example. I don't know. And this one was pack or something like that. You know, so it was a different kind of thing. Now, if this is just a word, that's just a word. But look how cool. What if this was, this is from my backpack. Put this in my backpack, for example. I don't know. So if I select this and change this type of thing that it is, so if I go over here and I call it a subheading, then this is also a subheading. Then this is something that I could collapse and open up. Okay, backpack, food, right? And then I go, got the shoes, didn't get the water, got the jacket, okay, got the map, right? So it makes sense that when you have separations that they, so this is how my actual travel lists are like that. Like I have things to do last minute or call, you know, and then pack and then gifts or, you know, things like that. And I'll just have them under these little lists, but it gets so long that I'll have them all collapsed and I'll go, okay, right now what am I doing? I'm packing. Okay, let me open the pack list. What I need to get to do. Okay, things to do. Let me open the things to do list. Does that make sense? So I don't have to have 10 different lists. It's all the list of get ready to go. Yeah. Oh yeah, because then you're in the car and you go, oh, I need to remember to write this. So not when you're, I see when in the car, when you park. I don't try when I'm in the car. When I get here, I'm not going to pack today, but then I remember, ooh, I better put the belt in there. So then I'm going to just add belt. Whoops. I better write belt, and it's on my computer because I'm at the computer. But then I grab my phone, and if I were to go to my notes right now, which right now I don't want to switch, there it is. I have in my notes, this new note created in class about NoteLab is appearing in my notes. And then when I am at the grocery store, suddenly I go, oh, maybe I should add, not now because they're going to go bad, but maybe I should add a banana because I really like bananas, but I'm going to buy it last minute. So under food, I'm going to write bananas, right? Bananas or something like that. And then whenever the day comes to trip, I'll go and get myself some bananas, right? So anyway, you can do that on the phone. Credit. So that's the checklist part. And I make a lot of checklists. So for example, this is actually, this is an actual note where whenever someone at the last minute says, I need to attend your class, I don't have a Zoom link. I'm like, okay, here it is. I have this note. No matter, some people email me and I have it available and I'll just copy paste and send that back. I have a note in my phone and in my computer that when someone wants the link, I don't have to go all the way to my Zoom app, open up, find the link, or go to the email I sent. I'll just copy paste this and I'll send it, and that's my link to my Photoshop class. Does that make sense? So this is an example. But yes, I can collapse Photoshop, I can collapse Illustrator, I can collapse these guys. And when I open them, does that make sense? Those are the links to my different classes. Okay, back to, now notice that I had that one at the top. That's so important to me that I don't want to lose it, even though I created it. It looks like it says October 7th. And then I have this one from April 25th that I wanted them at the top, so I pinned it. So instead of falling by date or whatever, I pinned it to the top. Okay, so say that this note that I made in July, let me see. Here's a grocery list that I guess I made in class, in my April class, right? So say this is a constant grocery list. It's a list that I'm using every time I go, right? Every time I go, I use it and I want it. So then I can right click and I can pin it. So now my grocery list is pinned to the top. Right click, pin. Okay, now it's already pinned, so I can right click unpin. But when I want it, I'll just pin it. Now, if it's something really sensitive, I can also lock it. And if I lock it, I would have to put in my password to get in there. So if I don't want others to read it. It's not a safe place, but I have put some passwords in there when they're not like my really important passwords, but they're passwords like I'm coming to school and I need to remember. You guys bring little pieces of paper with your pipeline account. you know, I wouldn't put my financial thing in a note, but you can put it here and then you have your password. So whenever you need to, you pull up your phone and there's your passwords in a note. Another thing you can do is, remember during the pandemic that we had to show our vaccination card everywhere and an ID. So I just had a note where I put in my photo of my vaccination card, because who knows where that thing was, right? So you had to go to the movie, you had to go show everywhere that you were vaccinated. So I had a note with my vaccination. Passwords. The other day, someone in class, last time I taught this, someone had a great idea. They had to do some stuff, wasn't it? In the intro to the Mac, or was it during the summer? Someone was going to Seattle and they wanted to put their boarding passes in here, and they didn't know how to use the wallet, so they just copied and pasted them in here. So you can go to your phone, to your Photos app, or you can actually take a photo. Right now, I could actually take a photo. Let me take a photo with my phone. I take a photo of myself. And then I can put it in there. I'm going to go to my Photos app, and I believe it hasn't arrived yet. Anyway, here's another one that I took a little bit earlier, so it's a different photo, but I took it the other day, and here it is. So yeah, just as much that went in, I could have brought in my boarding pass, or, you know, the information of where I needed to go. I'm going to delete it if it takes up too much space, but yeah, you can add photos in this thing. You can add a recording. So I can click on this and make a recording. I'm going to start recording myself. And I'm going to, oh, I don't have the microphone turned on because I've got the microphone on here. So I can't actually, can I? I don't know if this will be listened to because maybe it's picking up from my other microphone. Stop. Done. Let me see. I don't know if this will be listened to because maybe it's picking up from my other. Okay. Not only that, but look, it's been transcripted. Can you see the text? I can actually see the text. I don't know if it isn't too because it's picking up from my other microphone. So that was the recording, and I have a transcript. So you know, when you have to take, you don't have time and just record a quick note about something. I could record a quick note, and then later I can select this and make it. I can select that text and make a new note saying, this is what happened in that meeting, for example. That note that I dictated because I couldn't write, I now have it written down. Okay. So back to this. So that was a recording, and I just deleted it, but let me just read it. Okay, here's another note because I deleted the other one. Okay. Now I'm talking to you guys. Now I'm time to record again. Now I'm recording a little bit more. I'm stopping it. Now I'm done. So I'm going to say done. So then here's the next note. I can put a photo. I already showed you from here. I can attach a photo. I can add a photo, or, oh, let's add a little sketch. Now I can't sketch on this computer, but on my phone, I'll show you that I can sketch actually. I can put in a table. So I can, like here, I clicked on that and I put in a table. So I'm going to say, I don't know, what would I want a table for right now? Class. So Mac class. And here I'm going to put the Zoom link. I don't, the Photoshop class, you know, like the other one that I made a list. And here's the Zoom link for it, right? Does that make sense? Like instead of doing it like this, I could have had a table where I had the class, the link, the class, the link, the class, the link. I could have done that. There's so many different ways. I could select this and I can make it bold or bulleted or a dashed list or a numbered list or something like that. So as you can see, there's a ton. Now this one here is new. And this one is the artificial intelligence feature. And you can, yeah, so you can select this thing, this list, for example, and artificial intelligence and say, here, Carol recommended to go to the labyrinth at UCSB. So I'm going to say, I want us to sound more friendly. Carol suggested we explore the labyrinth at UCSB, which isn't what I wrote. Remember that I wrote, she recommended, so they rewrote it for me. I'm going to revert to what I said. But yeah, you can get text and tell it now that we want it in a professional way. Oh, I didn't select it. Hold on. I was trying to do it to the whole note. I want it to be said in a professional way. Carol suggested visiting the labyrinth at the University of California, Santa Barbara. I'm going to revert again, and then I'm going to select that one more time, and I'm going to sell it concise. Concise. Carol suggested visiting the labyrinth. Okay, it was pretty concise already, right? So anyway, so you can just have it like you have to write an important email. Here's some text that I just spoke. I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to see if I have this artificial intelligence. I'll tell it to proofread it. Okay, here's another note. Because they did the other one, now I'm recording. So they added the word because. That was the proofread. Okay. Anyway, so stuff that you can do. Okay. I can attach a file. I can add a link. I can bring in a document. Right? I can add a document. So anyway, there's so many things that can be in the note, and I can share it. I can email it to someone. I can text it. I can invite someone to collaborate and add to the list, which is why if it's for a grocery list, I could invite people to edit. So I cannot believe it is 4:22. Class has come and gone, and I'm still teaching, and I have to teach another class at 5. Wow. Why you guys told me that the alarm was ringing? See what I mean about I lose time, and that's my notes succinctly. You can do exactly the same thing on the phone. I'll let you play with notes, and if you have a burning question about it, if you're in my iLife class, you can ask me at the beginning when we're settling up. You can ask me some notes questions, okay? Sorry, I don't know. I guess I've been like shutting up my phone, which is why I shouldn't have it in my pocket, because I just shut it up versus if I have it there, I would have seen it telling me that class was over. Okay, guys, it was great. I'll see you, some of you guys in iLife, and the rest of you hopefully some other time, some other day, in some other class. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, it's true. She does recommend the labyrinth at UCSB. So that was not invented. That was from real life.
Okay, bye.
Bye.